And welcome in. Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. I am one half of your host and virtual bartender, Mr. Nick Teodoro. Joining me, as always, my tag team partner in life, my wife, Miss Nicole. Nicole, what are you having?
Oh, you guys know me. Some Cheetos, some cranberry, some orange juice. Mr. Nick, tell the people what you're drinking and our three things for the show.
I'm drinking my J. Lore 7 Oaks Cabernet, as per usual, as you like to say. Well, AJ Lee wins the Women's Intercontinental title. Rhea Ripley and Randy Orton win the Elimination Chamber. And Seth Rollins returns to reveal himself as the Masked Man. We are reacting and reviewing WWE Elimination Chamber 2026 on Sunday, March 1st, 2026. This is the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
Gasoline and groceries, the list goes on and on. This 9 to 5 ain't working. Why the hell do I work so hard? I can't worry about my problems. I can't take them when I'm gone. 1, here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Tell him bring another round when he's let it go. 2 stepping on the table, she don't need a dance floor. Oh my. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jack Daniels got a history. There's a party downtown near Fifth Street. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy.
And welcome back in. Happy Sunday, fun day, everybody. If you're new here, smash the old like and subscribe if you haven't. If you're a regular, you know we love having you back. Nikki, we are broadcasting today for the first time ever on Facebook.
Thank you. We put out a call yesterday. We were at 99 followers. And if you guys know, you need 100 followers to stream live on Facebook. So we put out a call. And we're now over 130. So we have the best people. I cannot thank you guys enough. So now you can watch us on Facebook.
Yeah. Nick Club is now on Facebook. Well, we've been on Facebook, but now
you can watch us on Facebook. So definitely if you're watching us on Facebook, let us know.
Yeah, right in.
Say hello.
Put the call-in links now are on Facebook and on YouTube, so we got.
Tell us what you're thinking and what you're drinking.
Yeah,
and we're gonna get into what was the chamber.
Yes, I know
the chambray, if you will.
Welcome our friends in.
Hello.
Yes, it was definitely a very interesting PLE to get to. Yeah, very nice. Yes, a lot of show announcements, social medias, and things of that nature.
I'm trying to put in the work.
Move towards big event. We're in March, Nikki.
I know. I feel like January was 6,000 years, February was 2 days, and now it's March. And now you're making me go on the road, getting my mom to watch Jackson, and I'll be with you. Usually I'm at the bar.
Exactly.
I'll be with you.
So now you'll be with us at big event. So that's exciting. And then finally, now that we're in March, we get to bring back Main Event Madness. This could have been Selection Sunday, but we are going to take 8 men and 8 women. Well, 8 men from WWE, 8 men from AEW, 8 women from WWE, 8 women from AEW, and we're going to put them into a bracket against each other, and we're going to vote. Everyone's going to vote based off of charisma, in-ring ability, promo skills, draw, everything under the sun, merch sales. If you're building promotion, this is your pillar, as we like to call on this show. Main Event Madness, we start that on Friday. So
if you were with us last year, we did it with WrestleMania main events. And since now that we're in the 40s, it got a little crazy. So we thought, for this year, we do maybe just superstars from, the big two, you want to call it. But yeah, no, Friday you got to make the brackets.
I know it's going to be fun. It's always interesting making the brackets and doing it. But But yeah, it'll be a fun time. We're going to start that Friday at 6 p.m. But Nikki, this weekend started on Friday. Before we get to Elimination Chamber, because it does affect Elimination Chamber, you talk about the big two. Well, we have new women's tag team champions as the Irresistible Forces claim the tag titles on Friday night. Let's take a quick look.
I'll never see what you've done to me. You can take back your memories, they're no good to me. And here's all your lies. You can look me in the eyes with the sad, sad look that you wear so
Nikki, Lash Legend and Nia Jax won the tag titles on SmackDown. What are your thoughts?
Well, as soon as they won, I told you, I'm like, well, Rhea's definitely winning the chamber now. The Chambre, if you will. But I think it's famous. Y'all know how I feel about Nia Jax. She is not my favorite in the world, but I do like Legend. I think she's hopefully one of the up and coming rising. I don't know if they're going to rerun her and Nia and Tiffy situation with like Nia and Lash, but I guess we got time for that. They'll probably walk into Mania as champions. I'm sure they're not going to walk out as champions, but I'm excited for Lash, and I do really like the Lash extension. I think that's a cool move. I mixed emotions about her doing it on Rhea. Like, you lose your belt, and then the next...
Yeah.
I don't know. But I guess maybe then she was mad she had more to prove.
Well,
I
mean, it could have... I mean, they do this all the time where it kind of sets up, like, the storyline for the next night. We weren't really necessarily... Well, you thought Rhea was going to win, but yeah, it kind of throws you off the scent of maybe her winning. But, yeah, I thought it was going to happen sooner or later, but I thought maybe they would save it to Mania and throw this, Riho as the tag titles, together at Mania and give them this moment at Mania. But I don't know. It kicked off the weekend, though. Again, and Triple H has been doing this where it kicks off the week. It sets a tone for the weekend. It just unpredictability theoretically to the casual fan.
True.
Yeah,
agreed.
Rhea putting over Lash's perfect. Yeah.
I hope
What's
they...
up, Kat?
Hello, Kat. I hope they go to Mania as champions and drop it, and then Lash can go, like, on her own.
Yeah.
And whether it go after the U.S., like, go into the U.S. title scene or main event scene, again, y'all know how I feel about Nia. So I'm excited for Lash. That means I have to deal with Nia for the next, 7 weeks?
Yeah. Well, she's going to start, but Nia's maybe a tag team specialist now. Any real last reflections on the Rhea Asuka title run?
It was fine. It was, again, I don't...
off the Kabuki Warrior eater.
Again, I don't love putting the two singles together. Again, like, Kabuki Warriors are their actual, like, true tag team. Like, with Rhea and Io, yes, they're friends. And then they're... I don't know. Because, again, they immediately broke up. I don't know what Io's going to do at Mania now.
Yeah. I know. Well, they did kind of ask Rhea.
And then she's like, "Oh, I did this it's a win for both of us." I was like,
that's why it's like maybe heel Io, but I don't like heel Io right now because I think she's super over, and it really makes more sense for her as a face. It's a lot harder, I think, now to book faces.
Yeah, but then you put her back. I don't want to say back down, but like back down over with the Asuka Kyrie stuff, and then are they technically on SmackDown? And she maybe do something with Julia? again, you got 7 weeks.
Yeah. Maybe she does something with Julia, and then that'll be a nice mid-card feud for her. Because especially if Chelsea's not theoretically fully healthy. I don't know. It'll be interesting. But yeah, that bleeds into Elimination Chamber, where again we start. Well, first as we get into it, Nikki, new champ.
I know. LA, poor fucking LA Knight. My poor baby. Stop doing that move. Stop doing that move, baby. It doesn't. It's starting to be, and I know the people are gonna freak out. You know how Sabu would do the chair to do the thing? His suicidal, genocidal, blah, blah, blah. He didn't hit that a lot, to be honest. But when he did hit it, it was like, ah! Like, the percentage of LA hitting that move is not, I know. Oh, my sweet little pickle. And I get
jump up, Billy.
Yeah, that's what he messed. Again, we'll get there, but like he needs to stop doing that move. I think it was a fine pay-per-view. I don't necessarily get the tremendous amount of hate it's getting. Is it a chamber that we're going to talk about it years to come? No. Was it the worst chamber we ever had? I don't think so. It was just there. It was just a thing that happened.
He is a large. He's a thick guy. He's just.
Just like that.
The ring, very.
The ropes. It's just like I don't know. It's a cool move when he can do it, but it's a lack of what is it? Diminishing returns.
Yes,
like that's.
I think that that sounds right.
That's how it feels.
It sounds.
Any whoosies, and again, Becky will get there, but I sort of stand by my pick still. But now, it is what it is.
Well, Nikki, let's get into it because it leads into the opening match where we see Rhea Ripley, you correctly predicted, winning the Women's Elimination Chamber. Let's take a look back at some of the images from the match. Nikki,
yes,
Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, I mean I feel like they have no idea what they're doing with Jade or how to book Jade in a match. So it's like, let's throw the biggest female name we got. They're both big gals. They're both ripped. I'm hoping
it does sell. It does sell.
Rhea at this point is, I feel, one of the veterans, one of the elder statesmen at this point, even though she's super young, that I'm hoping can help get Lash through a match. But again, I think it was the only. If it was definitely for Jade Cargill, I don't want to, as much as we love Tiffany, she looked hot as fuck last night. Don't want to see her in Jade. I think Alexa and Bliss, maybe that. Like David Bertha's Goliath thing, but like, and Kiana James is too now, and she couldn't. The two, yeah.
Well,
I think she looked incredible in this match. I think
so. Actually, that's what I'm going to ask you. What your reflections? Yeah, Kiana James again, and it was funny because I was like, I'm waiting for her to. She had like the Tiffany Stratton breakout performance from a couple of years ago, 2024, and it was funny because we were doing the watch along with Mikey's group, and it was Sean or Matt. I think it was Sean. No, it was Matt. They were saying, I'm waiting for the big spot. And he goes, well, there's a big spot. But it was her literally just getting power slammed by Raquel through the pod. But again, like, because I thought she would have like a Tiffany Stratton, like swanton type moment. But yeah, I thought for sure.
Just like
Kiana James had a standout performance.
I think they just threw, again, like, I'm sort of glad that because I think there was a thing that there wasn't like enough weapons or another hardcore enough, but like the way that they were slamming each other when they threw like when Tiffany went flying into the pod, like her hand was on the thing. You're like, is that her hand? I was like, yeah, they're all contorted. And again, the crazy spot with Raquel and Kiana, like when Tiffy does her handspring into the elbow, and then Kiana moved and she just hit that so hard.
Yeah.
Then Kiana spearing Asuka, like, I don't know. Is it the best women's one? No, but I think they tried. Maybe I kind of like this one better than the men's. I don't know. Yeah. But I think the girls the women in there put in the work. I think it's still not the best ever, but it was fine.
Yeah, and then the other thing is the other person who looked absolutely fantastic is Raquel.
La Rula. I wanted her to win. Sorry, go ahead. You talk.
No. I mean, just talking about like her. She gets the double stack elimination on the top. And like, yeah, that was definitely a consideration for Big Nick Energy moment of the night. And again, put your moments in the chat. Every PLE we call it Big Nick Energy. What's your big moment of the PLE? That is one that I considered. But again, she was someone that we thought might get lost in the shuffle, and to be able to put her over in that manner right now, which I don't know where it leads to her for WrestleMania, if she has done enough to get into the conversation for the match with McCare as like a triple threat, or they keep her as just a challenger after. Maybe. But it definitely built her up as, something to be a force to be reckoned with moving forward.
I don't know. It was your contender, but it was my Big Nick Energy moment. Again, I think Raquel looks super strong. Again, I really wanted her to win, to insert herself into the Stephanie Becky thing with Liv, but obviously this is for SmackDown. But her getting the Roman Reigns treatment of, pack 'em, stack 'em, pin 'em. I'm like, get it, girl. I think she looked great here. I still feel a little bad for Asuka being kind of a casualty of this, because I think we forget how good Asuka is sometimes, and she's a national treasure. I love her dearly. But her just hitting the Tejana bomb on Asuka to Kyrie and doing the stack and pack, my Big Nick Energy moment.
Oh, the Tejana bomb?
Yeah, I told you that it was.
Oh, you didn't get that. I didn't get that.
Then which one do you have me as? Well, then I don't know. We'll talk in the next commercial break, kids. It's also famous if your kids are new here. I don't go to production
I had you
meetings.
with Raquel's power slam through the.
That was yours, and I said, should I change mine then? Because we both have Raquel.
I thought this was Nikki's, so I was stamping this as.
Oh,
unbelievable! Lack of production.
The one sliver of production we have is I give you my picks and I tell you my Big Nick Energy moment. I told you last night when she did the pin, that's my Big Nick Energy moment, unless something else crazy happens. And then you said you were going to do the power slam, and then I was like, oh, I'll change mine.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have access to that.
Welcome to our show, kids.
Yeah, this is what happens.
Where we agree on nothing.
So they're all calling her Hollywood Rhea Ripley, saying she's becoming Hulk Hogan. I don't like how so. Just that I don't think. I mean, she's had a couple matches in like December, January. They were getting slaughtered, but I don't think that like is it Triple H is just booking her and putting her over. I don't think she's like Hogan-esque and calling the shots.
Everyone was calling Becky Hogan, and she came out in red and yellow, and she's kind of like a fuck you to it. But like I don't know. You'll have to call and explain. And Risa, I make no promises.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck.
I'll try, but you know, I gotta live the gimmick, brother.
But again, so the other thing is, after all this, Tiffany Stratton, who was my only sole loss.
She looked good though.
Yeah, but she did.
I just don't want to see her first date. I hope they find her something good to do for Mania, because she deserves it, I think. But her and Jade, I would have been so angry about.
I think, yeah, maybe that was just the swerve that they wanted to throw out there, because people, it was too easy to maybe predict that.
Yeah, but for her to start and get to the end, I think made her look strong.
Yeah, I just wonder, maybe she gets dropped down to the mid card in that U.S. title run.
Do you think maybe? Again, I think the drafts are dead, or shakeups or draft, whatever they do. Maybe I think Tiffany maybe needs to go to Raw. I think we do need a little shakeup here. I think
That'd be nice.
Tiffany's been on Raw since she debuted from NXT, and I think maybe
Is that because you want more gingers? Like, aren't you ginger?
interesting.
And see who can get it over. That'd be like a red, and then they fight Becky Lynch. This is an interesting one.
Could be.
Triple H sees a bit of China in Rhea and is pushing Rhea as a means to make up for having their dirty China.
I mean, Rhea does say that
China
China.
had a little like tinfoilish hat.
I think
It's not even a
there's
tinfoil
some
hat.
truth. There's
Yeah.
definitely some truth in that because like
So it is just side. I'm assuming it was side. Good hear from your side. But yeah, that's an interesting.
But like yeah, no,
I can see it.
I'll believe it when we get the. It's so far gone now, but I still want that Dom. I think Steven talks about that the Dom Rhea match. Again, I think AEW. Again, I'm not comparing all the ships, all the things, but like I think AEW's kind of been in this stride again. Like looking at the Tony OC, Death Rider match, like that was a fun mixed tag match. I think WWE can do that too, and I know they're weird about sponsors, but AEW has sponsors too. So I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but like. If she gets a China treatment, I want her to see her in more intergender matches, but that might be I don't know if that's going to happen. If they didn't pull the trigger on Dom and Rhea post breakup.
Yeah.
But I definitely see where you're coming from, Josiah.
Yeah. It'd be Rhea versus Dom.
That'd be crazy pants.
Yeah, it would be amazing. It would be great. It would be a greght WrestleMania. Or throw her in the triple threat.
Was it when did
throw her in the triple threat with Finn?
It wasn't. What was it? It wasn't Mania. What was the pay-per-view that she trying to get the belt off Jarrett in the Good Housekeeping match? That wasn't Mania.
No, it wasn't Mania. But it seems like a random like in your house. I thought
it was like a I don't know.
Because in your house wasn't running then.
We went down the rabbit hole of any hoosies.
I digress.
We digress.
All right, Nikki. So we're sticking with the ladies.
Oh god.
3 in a row because now
everyone calm down in the chat. I feel like we're about to get like
I know. Here it comes because our Jersey girl, who's really now transplanted.
They booed when and we have to talk about Mark Nash later.
But AJ Lee wins in her sweet home Chicago.
To the land of California, to my sweet home, Chicago. Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Yeah.
Nikki, AJ Lee, your new women's IC champion. What are your thoughts on AJ winning?
It's fine. They wanted to have the moment of her and Punk in Chicago having belts, even though his lip was bleeding or whatever looked like he ate a cherry popsicle.
She would not kiss him.
And she goes running and launches her. He barely he doesn't really grab her, and he's like, "I'm bleeding." I'm like, I think she saw your face, guy. But okay, it's fine. I know. Again, it's her first singles match since Nikki Bella in 2015, March of 2015. I was not expecting a 5-star classic. It was what it was. It was fine. I'm not gonna go back and rewatch the match. All you're gonna talk about at the end, Becky hits the turnbuckle thing into the you got me calling it black. It's not. Oh, the Widow. No.
Widow's Peak.
No, isn't that Victoria?
Widowmaker. I don't know.
Anywho, you know what I'm talking about. I'm so over Jessica Carr and Becky Lynch's fight.
Just get it on. Already.
Just go. Becky needs to go to Evolve and fight her. It is what it is, guys. I'm not losing sleep over it.
So, yeah, I guess what was... Yeah, it's her first singles match in 10 years. I didn't think the match itself was terrible. Again, the moment we thought they were headed towards that moment of, again, both Punk and AJ get the belt in their hometown, both where they live.
Well, they booed when Mark Nash said Union City, New Jersey. There was boos, and I was like,
well, that threw me off. Like, why you didn't do any favors? Like, that's where she's from, but like.
They could have done what they do with Logan Paul. It's like, oh, he's from, he's always somewhere different. It's like, oh, from Puerto Rico, way of Cleveland, Ohio. They could have been like, done that. Or, as a Jersey girl myself, you can take the girl out of Jersey, but you can't take the Jersey out of the girl. So maybe she still wants to, this is my second home, but like, I'm always going to be Jersey. So maybe she said, like, I'm still announcing me from Jersey.
Right. Yeah. But I just think you're going for that moment where you want to get the big pop, the big crowd reaction, like build it up as much as humanly possible. So I kind of asked the question, like I threw it up in the poll, like bigger pop for AJ in Chicago or at WrestleMania, like because I told you this last night when we were watching this, and I said like, well, AJ has fans all around the world, and WrestleMania, all the fans around the world congregate, so you could have it there, but you also have Chicago, like if that's now viewed as our hometown, you have New Jersey theoretically too, but like. Some people get the big pop, like you talk about the moments, right? Like Punk had in Chicago. Like I think they thought that she would have that Punk pop moment. Where do you think the pop would be bigger? Would it be bigger at WrestleMania, where potentially just more diversified audience, with not all AJ Lee fans, or in Chicago, like we saw last night?
Yeah, earlier, Tina, I see that you popped in. I would really love to hear how you felt, because I know you were there last night. Oh, and a lot of times the crowd sounded dead, so I don't know if I want to know how you felt, but like it didn't feel. I just feel like Rhea and Punk got the only reactions, and then I believe there was a "fuck you, Logan" at one point, but it didn't feel like. And even Roman, we'll get to that later, but Roman Reigns tweeted that. Like I don't know who looked more tired, the crowd or our champion. And I was like, woo. Probably should have tweeted that, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough to say. It's like, I know it wasn't the greatest match. It had its sloppy moments, but
it did what it had to do. Again, it's not a match. I don't think it's the worst. Clearly not the best. We're never gonna have to watch it again, kids. We can just go on.
I don't know. I think that the question is, are they going to run it back for Mania, or are they going to throw in maybe Natty, or
I would love for them to throw in Natty. Justice for Natty. Like, we were so excited for her to now be this blood sport Natty. And it's just her beating up Maxine again. It's like, all right, I would maybe, because again, she eliminated Becky. There's history with Natty and AJ.
Steven thinks the match was fine.
It was fine. It was. But I don't know. The whole rumor is that they're running it back, and if we get CM Punk posted a photo of he's wearing, he's Philly 2 belts, and did the pose that Becky and Seth did when they were triple champions. And then of course Becky's going off on social media. I'm assuming it's going to be a rerun. I would like maybe how I feel about stipulations, but maybe a stipulation or maybe another person, because we've seen this now.
Yeah.
Like,
make it
chapter out at pull the chapter out.
Yeah,
and I think she needs to be in a multi-person match or a tag match, which was obviously not going to be tagged for the IC belt, but you need to put someone in there or do a stipulation. And how I always bitch about stipulations and how this card's going to be, every match is going to be a multi-match, but I think AJ needs it. But she hasn't had a match in a very long time. Easy on her.
So
I have to stick up for Jersey.
Bigger pop for AJ in Chicago or at Mania.
Okay.
Now maybe it could be hindsight, so
maybe
take it with a grain of salt. 80% said Mania.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought she would.
Now it keeps going back and forth.
I thought it would be
That's the
Mania,
one.
and then she can go have her little run and then drop it to someone like a Maxine or a Natty at SummerSlam. But yeah, maybe she'll drop it to Natty at Mania. Justice for Natty.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know. I think it was Reese put in the chat like a dungeon match for Natty and Maxine would be great.
If they legit, well, I guess we can. Fuck it. I want then go back, make a Stu Hart dungeon. What was it? Severn and Owen?
Yeah. Severn and Jim.
No, but weren't they?
No. Owen and Jim.
Yeah, I was what? Sorry. So
Yeah.
Whoever I know was Owen and someone in the actual fucking
Severn was
dungeon.
referee, I think.
Oh, maybe.
That was
We said Owen Hart. We said Hart. I'm assuming Reese, you're gonna correct me. Love you. But if they're gonna maybe
the back thing
I know, but I want like a cinematic them in the dungeon actual match. Don't give me a weird little cage on the side. Oh, what was that? That's the lion. Well, that's the Lion's Den match. Well, yeah, you have Natty's the Dungeon 2.0. Then have that there. Have it be gritty. Have it in black and white. Do give it something.
Severn was involved in both matches.
See, I was close.
Yeah.
I know some stuff, Reese.
Well
Thank
done.
you, babe.
Well done.
But
yeah, it would be nice. But Nikki, let's move on. So from the newest Chicago native to the one that we know the most, CM Punk successfully retaining.
Yep.
Which, to the surprise of nobody,
Nope.
the World Heavyweight title.
Poor Finn Balor.
Yeah. Any thoughts?
I think it was a fine match. I maybe prefer the Belfast one a little more, but it's not the worst, not the best. It was fun. I really loved the coup de grace into the sharpshooter that I thought was super fun. I think this is a face turn for Balor. I think we'll see on tomorrow, but Punk came out at the pro show and had like a footprint on his face. Like it was a hard hitting match. Again, I feel bad for Balor, but it's
so that is a good question.
It's fine.
Is Finn Balor in fact turning face?
I hope so. I hope he turns face, goes against Dom, and wins the IC belt at Mania. As much as I love Dom.
Yeah, I mean, that could be okay.
We talk about this every pay-per-view, every week. Judgment Day, are they going to break up? I'm hoping this is it. And I just feel bad. They hammer home. They're like, 10 years ago, you took a move wrong, or Seth did the move, whatever camp you're in. I think maybe they both fucked up. But you got hurt on this buckle bomb, or barricade bomb, and you never got back to the heights again. I'm like, well, fuck you, Vince McMahon. He could have.
Yeah.
He could have got him back, and you could have booked him a lot better. And they booked him like shit, and they went back down to NXT, and it was like cool again. And then he comes back, and then the Judgment Day stuff is just like,
yeah, no, it is like it like because there's some promos, and I can't remember who recently. Like I think maybe some of the Hangman stuff for a while. And like, but that people that talk you into why they deserve a run with the belt, and like Finn Balor deserves another world title, and like his promos of everything that happened and everything. Yeah, you forget it was 10 years ago, and like how much he's done. He's still done so much.
I know, like,
but
yeah,
he deserves like another one. Like it's cyclical, and everyone goes to main event scene, mid card scene, back around, tag team, whatever, and then maybe a faction, which Finn's been part of, right? And yeah, it just makes you feel from like he does deserve another run.
Oh, Fergal. But also the difference is, and shout out to Cultaholic because that's what made me realize this. Obviously, when in the Judgment Day, they're all in their motorcycle street gang clothes. His vignette on Monday, and then the sit down he had with Corey, he's back into like a button down and a blazer. He's kind of out of that like street. Remember they were like the street rats. Or was it Gunther called them Gunther called them street rats. And then like they wanted to have a shirt, and they had a shirt, but like he's kind of like back out of the street rat stuff and he's wearing nice clothes again, maybe this is the face turn.
Yeah. No, I
I
think it's happening. I'm trying to get through.
No, guys, you're being so great, blowing up our chat, and we're like, hi, so thank you.
And is winning nothing best.
Oh, well, you said if you listen to, he was on Cody's podcast, and he was like, didn't necessarily want to bring the demon back because it was like, oh, well, then, you know, Finn never wins. It's always has to be the demon to win.
What's up, Christopher?
Hello,
Does
friend.
Punk win at Mania?
I hope so. We will.
I think, we'll get to that in our WrestleMania predictions, but early gun to my head says yes, because I think he gets his WrestleMania main event win back.
I do not want another absentee champion. I think maybe when we get to whatever pay-per-view, Punk can drop it to somebody. But I want my champion on TV. We got through the Brock Lesnar bullshit, and then we went to the Roman Reigns stuff, and now it's so refreshing that I'm like, my champion's on TV. He's defending the belt. He had the match with Breaker, the match with AJ, the match with Finn in Belfast. It's like, that's what I want to see. Yeah. I don't care about this Hollywood version of Roman Reigns that, you know, just tweets about what's going on. Like, I don't give a fuck. I know it was great in his run, and I'm worried that they're going to hit the panic button and put it back on him, but I'd be super upset. I want my champion on TV.
So, is Finn Balor turning face? The whole chat agrees.
Yes, I want, because when he comes back, when he just, like, he does the flip jack and he does his, like, hand things, so it's like, oh, there he is. There's our baby. Because NXT, Finn Balor, well, the best.
But they did all, ultimately, they get this moment that we talked about, that they wanted this. So WWE gets their Chicago power couple moment.
And he's in all his Black Hawk jersey. He had the Larry Forever jacket.
Go Devils.
AJ had a patch with Larry's face on it. But we didn't even mention it. I think Reese said it in the chat. You were like, because if you watched our show on Friday, the promo package video that Nick put together used the Alan Parsons Project, the Bulls thing, and when that hit, you were like, ah! So that was super cool of them having the Bulls announcer guy announce him and him walking like to the gorilla, and then having, you know, Cult of Personality hit. I thought that was a really cool.
I was waiting. I thought maybe like TK would have done that in AEW at one point in time already, but he buys everything. Like, he doesn't care. He's just in his toy chest. Let's buy whatever music.
But
playing WWE 2K.
I think the entrance is very, very cool.
Well, Nikki, talking about entrances that were very something. Well, how about a very nice, very evil?
Oh my god, I'm ready for the wave.
It turns out Danhausen was in the box, like I correctly predicted, and we threw out on this show a couple weeks ago when Reese called in and debated about like what the character would be. You open up the box, it's a coffin, and I said just like the Nosferatu thing, like he's coming out of the coffin, but he's got all these dancers and around him, and it's kind of, again, it's the Danhausen gimmick. It's the show.
You are wearing your Danhausen shirt.
Yes.
Pop it.
But again, there's some conflicting reports. There were some boos. Let's be honest.
There were boos.
But to me, it's the only person that made sense. You can see Chris Jericho or whoever come out of there. It doesn't fit the gimmick for really anybody else. I know Reese maybe talked about like Evil, or maybe you talked about it on Friday, but was he All Japan, New Japan? And
New Japan.
But to me, it made the most sense. I think Danhausen is going to be absolute gold in WWE. I've said this for years since he saw him in AEW and all the skits and stuff, that his interactions alone backstage with different characters are going to be
one vignette with him and Punk. Like, you're going to be sold. If everyone fucking loves R-Truth, give it 30 seconds. I feel like a lot of it's like people who only watch WWE, you don't know what the fuck this was. But like us knowing it, I thought it was hysterical. Him coming out and like, again, his music would be like, you're cursed. And Steven put it in the chat. His one of the dancers was his wife, and she choreographed it. I was like, oh my god, that's so sweet. But he's the campy, maybe 60s horror villain again. His face paint is from The Exorcist. Like, this is supposed to be fun. Let's have fun for 30 seconds. And again, him giving the teeth to Michael Cole, and Michael Cole's Michael Cole. If you do watch the post show, Triple H was like, oh, it's gonna be interesting, it's gonna be fun. Like, this is sometimes wrestling is supposed to be fun, guys.
Steven, thanks for throwing that in the chat. I don't think Nikki mentioned this to me that
yes.
one of the dancers was
I
his
saw
wife.
yes. I saw Steven's put it in there, and I made sure that we circled back to it. I'm like, he's already super funny. He already tweeted, because I don't know if you guys follow Adam Pearce on social media. Every day, Adam Pearce tweets, love somebody today. Danhausen tweeted, it's like, love Danhausen or be cursed. He already asked if Stone Cold was still the Raw general manager. He asked when he can get to The Rock's private gym. Like, this is gonna be fun. Like, this was supposed to be campy and cheesy. Again, he gave the teeth to Cole. He got the one poof of the firecracker. Again, I think everyone's saw this.
Like, let's just for argument's sake, that this is further proof of how big Danhausen is. Our chat we just popped this up and just look at how many people just started coming in. Andrew Brunswick, Chris, how conflicting, but how many people really do like.
Yes, it's supposed to be fun. This is why I love pro wrestling, because it's so many things. He can be funny. Again, the thing before that, R-Truth went to Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. He's like, you said you know what's in the box, and he pulls out a fucking pizza. Again, it's product placement, but it's supposed to. Sometimes this is supposed to be fun, and sometimes we have to hold hands and have fun about this. I think it's gonna be, again, put him in a promo with Truth, put him with Punk, have him follow around Adam Pearce and just be like, I just want to hear him talk, and be like, and I think that's the thing. You have him come out, and he was talking, but I feel like the camera wasn't close enough to hear him. And I think once you hear his voice, how he talks, like Pepsi Phil, Punk Houseland, this is going to be fun. Let's give it 30 seconds before we shit in his mouth.
Yeah, it's because you just don't know what to expect. And again, for someone, and I thought this was interesting because last night, and then we were doing the watch along with Mikey, and then we called back. I called back in because I wanted to hear Sean and Matt do their show. If we had the time, so they do their show, and they don't watch any NXT.
They're just
WWE main roster. And I said, "What is your thoughts of the debut of Danhausen?" Because they have no idea who Danhausen is and what he is, and they liked him. And he's like, and I think it was Sean who's just like, yeah, I think he's entertaining. I was pretty entertained by his gimmick and the way his entrance, the way he came out. I'll see what happens. I'll make my judgments as he goes forward. Mm-hmm. But again, for someone brand new eyes, I hate to say that, but brand new eyes to the sport, to this character, it was over enough. Now, again, maybe we're expecting something different because of where it was, or a bigger pop.
Yeah, again, people are like, oh, Chris Jericho's not coming out of the box. Let's be realistic. I really thought there were going to be something stupid
Sorry, I didn't mean to say it.
No, please,
this is a perfect comment.
So
Andrew Brunswick, I only heard of him once. He came out and I started watching his stuff today.
I remember that it came up on Twitter today, when it was in the AEW and Adam Cole pulled out the chair and then Danhausen came with it. It's just it's supposed to be fun and silly, and I think maybe WWE needs some fun and silly right now,
right? Because
everything feels very serious pants and very kind of directionless.
So, and this is Reese's point, and I get your point. He makes sense for WWE as a talent for the comedy, but he'll be just short skits backstage, and that's all. I think a lot of what Joe Hendry, 90% of what gets him over is his comedy. Mm-hmm. So if you're telling me Joe Hendry's going to be anything on the main roster, Danhausen definitely has that same chance. Yeah. And you look at, again, a lot of his booking, his build, he's not 6'4". He's not Oba Femi, 6'4", 200, whatever, 60, 75 pounds. It's the presentation and what we're going to see about him in the ring and all the cunningness, how he wins matches, when he's in matches, how he's placed, and go from there.
Kent Wilson retweeted his WWE tweeted that he retweeted. He's toxic. Give me Danhausen and Kent Wilson doing a backstage segment. Again, maybe it is just going to be some segments, and maybe he'll be him and Punk doing a tag match and something like. that's okay. You're not everyone's coming in and gonna be your main event 6-star match person.
Yeah.
You do need these lower mid-card people. You need your comedy acts to fill out your roster. To fill out every show's 3 fucking hours.
Yeah.
We can watch Danhausen be weird for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, so this is and let's end on this note. But like Danhausen's giving NXT on like Starks and May. It's fun. It is. But I will say this. So to this point, I view it again. It's sports entertainment. And the roster and the juggling of the roster is very much like similarly in WWE to the baseball team. You have your main roster, you have NXT, which is your AAA. And depending on what you need, different talents like a Danhausen can come straight to the main roster versus an Obafemi who you're going to try and prep to skyrocket to the moon as a main event talent. You're going to try and protect them as much as possible. Danhausen is going to be a character that you want more repetitions, more on TV. He's going to spruce up the mid-card right away in an area of need. It's just like a team like in baseball, you need the easiest thing to fill is like a middle reliever. So they take a lot of good, decent talent that are in the minor leagues that are starting pitchers, move to middle relief. Steven will get that reference. But, yeah.
And I'm hoping post-Mania Ricky is back, will be on main, but I think you also sort of needed his veteran, but having him been in a different company, more established, I think having that kind of presence at the PC is also helpful. Because I would love fucking Ethan Page to be on main. I think Saints to be on main. Like, I'm hoping post-Mania we get there, but sometimes like I think you do need someone maybe a little stronger to stay in NXT. And I think Mariah May kind of they're bungling her, so maybe being in the PC is good for her right now.
Yeah. Well, you said main a lot. Let's get to the main event.
Main.
As Randy Orton, as I correctly predicted, is your winner of the men's Elimination Chamber match.
They say free when you're singled out. Red filters through. So lay down. The red is real.
He's wearing red. Randy Orton,
Yeah.
bringing the red. He wins the Elimination Chamber. Nikki, what are your thoughts?
Everyone's saying right call, and like I know you picked it, and I know you're our new champion now. Whatever. I get it. Like I get it, but I don't know. I get the story of like we said on the post show that he's going after 15. He said he wants to break Flair's 16. He wants to go for Cena 17. So in the story, it makes sense. Does Randy Orton need to win anything to be inserted to a match? I don't think he does because it's Randy fucking Orton. That's my only thing.
But that was my whole thing is I thought there was going to be some sort of wonky finish because
There was
because you had
wonkies.
Drew screwed him over a week and a half ago and you had that interaction and then sure enough, we'll get to the other shenanigans that happened for him, but Drew shows up again, and that's kind of the story that it was told, is that you have Drew, he keeps, I don't know why, he just keeps inserting himself in everything, and whether it's Jacob's match, Jacob, Cody, and now Orton, and then he comes out, and they both ultimately eliminate Drew, but you still have that tension between Cody and Orton. That was a story that I saw because again, I don't think you're gonna get the Cody Orton one-on-one match still yet, and this is a good way of keeping them still separate, but what's the word? Perpendicular, maybe to each other. While they're in the match, but like
Parallel.
Parallel is probably
Perpendicular is just like this way.
Yeah.
You plus side, me equal side. I know my calculus.
Yeah, I was trying to be a little acute on that one. See what I did there?
Lord.
But
now everyone stopped watching.
We lost all our viewers. But I just thought it made sense for Orton, especially after like Logan, the Jey Uso shenanigans on Friday before we predicted.
Thank God. If I had to see Jey in this match, as much as we can get to it, as much as I didn't love Logan Paul in this match, I'd rather have Logan Paul than Jey Uso. I know that was just because like Bronson Reed was supposed to bring in it. He tore his biceps. We have to put someone. Jey just made sense. We can write him off because he's still in this ilk of the Samoans and having the history with Cody, having the history with Jacob, sort of having history with Drew and the Vision. Like it sort of just made sense. But good Lord, I'm so glad Jey wasn't in this match. But I am really upset. What?
Just make Randy look strong, setting up a 5 or 6 way in his inevitable feud with Raheem.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, seriously, Andrew. If Jey were in the match, we would still be on the entrances.
No, he would come out of a pod and he'd climb up on the pod and he would yeet for 20 minutes. And I'm just like, again, this is supposed to be such a serious match. Again, with War Games, it's war and you're up on the thing yeeting. And then it's Mania or Royal Rumble and you're on a turnbuckle for like, they counted like 15 seconds and no one touches you. Like, no. Yeah. Any hoosies, but I think this is a fun match. I love that it started off Cody and Javon, and then having Trick come in, so it's like the veteran, the two young guns. Every time, as much as I love Wade, he says OG and like young, and I'm like, you sound like an old man. I love it. But I love the three of them starting off, and then having Paul come in, and I know like Paul is supposed to be the Bronson Reed role, but I really don't love him pinning.
Do you think that was a good question? I was going to ask you. Do you think that Logan Paul did get the Bronson Reed role? Like, was Bronson Reed going to get those eliminations? Because
I wouldn't. But that's the thing. If Bronson Reed pinned Javon and Trick, I wouldn't have been mad at it. Logan Paul makes me mad because I feel like also Bronson Reed is kind of. I know he's kind of been on main for a while, but to me, he's still kind of the fresh. He was an NXT kid, still kind of coming up, still kind of finding his footing because again the injury, he missed Mania last year because he did the tsunami off the cage and shattered his ankle. And now he's torn his bicep. It's just like, he's still to me one of the young kids that I want pushed. Like, again, as much as you hate Logan Paul, I do. I know he looks choreographed, but at least he feels like he gives a shit more than you have other, like,
what's up, man?
Hello, my love. I know, but at least like, who was that? Reese, you will know. Who is the fighter that sang American Pie with Drew McIntyre after he lost at Clash? Tyson Fury? Is that his name?
Yes.
Did they want him to do stuff, but he clearly didn't give a shit? Like, I will give something to Logan. I feel like he does care and wants to put in the work and wants this to be good.
Yeah. He gets the game. He does get the game. Like, it is... For what it's worth, Logan Paul does understand the game.
I don't. If he was really just fitting in for Bronson Reed's role, I would not be mad if Bronson pinned Javon and Trick, but Logan Paul doing it and he's like holding up. He's like, "Oh, I did 3. I beat 3 of them." It's like that makes me feel. Ugh. But then my baby comes back and curb stomps the shit out of him.
So. Let's get to it because the mystery man shows up.
My man. My second man. You're my first man.
You didn't recognize him by the butt, apparently.
I had a couple cocktails and just thought, I was like, well, it's going to be someone that's not going to be him. And they took the thing off and I was like, oh, hello.
I'm a nice man.
Get it, Becky. What are you doing?
But the masked man shows up. Well, a false masked man shows up and gets taken away by like 12 security guards. And then
probably another Black and the Brave kid.
And then ultimately, he sneaks in, comes face to face.
If they zoomed in, I would have known his eyes.
Yeah, I'm sure you would have known.
Well, when they showed Grayson Waller, it was clearly Grayson Waller.
And then curb stomp. and a Logan Paul elimination later, and we see the big reveal is in fact Seth Rollins' return. Nikki, your thoughts on the Rollins return?
Again, I'm here for it. I think, again, I don't know what the shoulder surgery, he probably not 100% yet. I believe it's 7 weeks till Mania. He can still get there. Again, curb stomping people, you don't need your arms. Again, I love him. I'm glad when he went back into the crowd to leave, Chicago was singing his song. Is this are we turning him face again? Is he going after the Vision? He's going to take out the Vision. Like, again, are we running back him and Logan Paul at Mania?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, like there's so many.
Because again, I think he was supposed to be him Breaker for the belt.
Yeah, like is there enough time for Breaker to heal up, do some non-contact promos together, like he did with Triple H, however many years back when he had the ACL, whatever one of his years.
When he showed up at NXT,
like, can you keep that going? And maybe that, because that, not the greatest build-up, but you could find a way to at least get the match off and make this year worth something with the Vision. I don't know.
I know Seth Rollins gets a lot of shit.
Because, like, him and Logan Paul on a one-on-one match, I don't want to see.
They already had that match.
Yeah,
we already did that.
And especially at Mania, like, it's just not.
They already had a Mania match.
Yeah, like.
Again, is it just a fill-in because Breaker's not there, and Reed's not there? Because it's like, all right, Breaker's gone, but then we'll insert Reed, and then Reed tore his biceps off. I don't know. I know Seth Rollins gets a lot of shit. I've loved every iteration of Seth Rollins that ever existed in the history of ever.
Yeah.
So he can do no wrong to me.
I know. He could literally. There is nothing.
There's nothing.
So, I don't know. I just thought, this to me, it made the most sense because I said it all along. It needed to be a group led by a main event name and a bunch of people doing it behind the scenes. That's like, and again, like Paul Heyman saying it was Rollins all along, whatever, but having different people. The only thing that's interesting about the whole thing is the Austin Theory component of it, and where does that all play into this? Like, is Theory still involved in this whole?
Did we see? Because when Seth unmasked or whatever, you hear Paul Heyman yelling. I don't know if we got a shot of what Austin Theory's face looked like because there was whatever promo it was. I think it was LA Knight that did that promo. Was like, a masked man came out. The last time it was LA Knight. Like, how to blah blah. The last time was Austin Theory. I think LA Knight called out Austin Theory.
I thought it was Pierce that said that.
No,
Pierce did say it.
I don't know.
At some point.
I thought LA Knight they were cutting a promo. Any whoosies, but it's like, yes. But
hey, nothing wrong with black hoodies.
I don't know. Again, Seth back, I'm here for.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm just curious to see again, like the whole Austin Theory component of this is very interesting. Could they maybe make it a triple threat, which doesn't really like it's anticlimactic, but it elevates Theory and maybe Paul to some extent again.
Could you do because Steven just put in the chat that maybe Braun's ready. Could you have a tag match because just to protect everyone?
Oh, hold on. Paul's in the chat. Look now, so Paul made it.
Paul.
Yeah.
But could you?
Now I get to say this.
Doesn't work for me, brother. That doesn't work for me, brother.
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers gotta hug.
That's right. Hey, go.
But could you do maybe Theory and Seth back together versus like Braun and Paul just to kind of protect Breaker and
Braun and Logan Paul, not Paul Theodore.
I mean, like Paul can get in the match.
Paul can get in the match. You never know at this point.
But or could you do like again how I feel about stipulations? But maybe you do a handicap match, like Seth versus or the versus the Vision. But he's got to.
But he's also coming back from an injury, so it doesn't.
True, and that's why maybe you do a tag match, or maybe, or there was a cheeky little smirk between him and Cody. Does Cody not even magically get into that match? And then Cody has to help Seth, like Seth helped Cody at Mania 40, and then it's Seth and Cody versus the Vision. I know that's probably no one likes, but I'm just again, me and to play devil's avocado.
But Nikki, it was the big moment of the night, and for me, this was my big Nick energy moment of the night.
But
yeah, so again, anytime Rollins always finds ways to just get so many returns, get so many injuries, but like every time he returns, he always finds a way to make news and be impactful. So.
He's so good, and like again when Damian Priest is on Cody's podcast, and apparently there was like a snowstorm or whatever that they were doing a house show, and like producers couldn't come, and like Seth and Cody like produced the show, and everyone's saying like once Seth is done in ring, he's gonna be a producer. He's gonna be like,
Stephen Megan, there's too deep a roster for anyone to pull double duty at Mania.
True, I did throw that theory out before SmackDown that maybe Rhea could, but no, Stephen, I agree with you. We're gonna have two slots, and that's the thing. How do you go from having 4 matches in a PLE and then go to having 2 nights of a AEW pay-per-view? I just want middle. I feel like WWE is too short, and I feel like AEW is too long. Like, can we find, like, when they first kind of did it, when they were having like the 5-match cards, like I feel like that was such a sweet spot.
Yeah.
And now, like, we've kind of
it's like running a concert. It's got to ebb and flow, and it's it's tough because like, and should theoretically be 3 hours, 3.5 max. Anything more than that to me is too much.
Oh, that's the thing. Do you want
even
to be
4 hours is like
no? It's
actually maybe 4 I could probably be okay, but anything beyond that, 3 hours.
Unless it's like a new I don't know, like a normal non-big 4. 3:15 max. Like let's have 6 matches. Let's have good matches that breathe. Not let's have a 3-hour pay-per-view and have it. I'm watching so many pharmaceutical ads, and again, that's my bread and butter. But it was so much.
I know you and your ads.
Hey, baby,
gotta pay bills.
What do you think? Pay for all this
shit. But we'll see. So, Nikki, it is that time. Top of the hour.
Oh my god, it's 7 o'clock already.
Yeah.
That just like flew by.
I know.
How do you just, I know. What's on your hand? You had a fuzz.
But we got the phone lines open and they're already buzzing. Let us know what you're drinking, what you're thinking. WWE Elimination Chamber. Your reactions. We want to hear from all you. Nikki, my little blondie. Hit the snare. No, you didn't do the bing bong.
Because I was initially reading.
So disappointed.
Sorry, bing bong. I was reading Andrew's comment and it made me kind of laugh when he said the commercials have a better story than the current WWE product. So much work goes into those flipping commercials. It's dumb. Oh, US, you cry.
I know.
Any whoosies, I'm sorry.
It is nuts. There's a lot. But we'll see. All right, Nikki. Let's open up the phone lines. First up, regular, you know him. You love him. He might be a member of the Vision. He might be the masked man revealed. Well, we found out one of the masked men. He could have been one of the masked men. But on this show, he brings sex appeal. He could ask her. Magic Mikey.
Remember, take care of yourself, love one another, be iconic, And more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story.
Mikey!
Hello, friend.
Hello. Hopefully, I'm coming in through okay.
I'm clear.
Yeah, you might be hearing a lot of fans because it is hot over here. So we're gonna move. We're gonna have a change of location real quick.
We have
There.
a lot of. Mikey's got a lot of fans.
Oh my goodness,
Leave him alone.
it's hot. It's 102 degrees today. It's ridiculous.
Ugh.
I'm like, it's just March. It's only gonna get worse.
I don't know. Honestly, I thought about that today. For some reason, it's weird. Like when we were outside, I was like, would I deal like as cold as it's been in New Jersey? I do not give a shit. If it's 102 degrees, I'm okay with it versus any coldness. I prefer the hot to the cold.
We're the opposite. I would die. I would melt in an instant.
And that's why I always recommend to people, hey, if you want to come visit me between December and February because it's chilly but not too cold, and it's spring is actually kind of nice. And then March hits, and then I tell people, don't come until October because unless you are used to living in a desert, you will die. You will need lots of sunscreen, and make sure.
I am too pale. Too white. I'm not built for sun.
I know. I've seen Nikki be in the sun literally for 20 minutes and get
less.
And
less.
It was tough to watch.
I'm pale and Irish. We don't do sun. No. But
anyway, Mikey, what are you drinking? What are you thinking, buddy?
I am drinking water, so I am not dehydrated. And as far as what I'm thinking, I'm gonna be completely honest. I think had I watched Elimination Chamber by myself, I think I would have been more annoyed than I was last night. I don't think it's as bad as some people are making it out to be, but I hope that WWE, and this is a big hope and a long ask, I really hope that WWE starts getting it together in their story department, because now that we have the top of the card solidified for Mania, now you have the next 7 weeks to build your undercard, your like the mid card, and then you have 7 weeks if you want to include any tag team championship matches as well. And so, to kind of give my quick thoughts, I think the Women's Chamber was definitely my favorite of the two. I think there was a lot of fun. I was a little bummed to see Alexa get eliminated so early. But I still thought they had a lot of fun stuff. I think Becky versus AJ was good. Definitely Becky MVP for life. She is one of the best women's wrestler that roster has right now. Punk and Finn, I feel like I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. It's not my favorite. I think it went a little too long. I'm very interested to see how they're going to build Finn and Dom for Mania, because my thought process was Dom was going to either intentionally or unintentionally cost Finn the match against Punk, and then in return, he would cost Dominic the Intercontinental Championship match tomorrow on Raw, which would then set up them for Mania. So I'm very interested to see now if that is still the plan, where Finn and Dom is going to go.
And I know
yeah.
someone, I gotta go through like the chat, but someone else put that. I don't know if it was Reese or Sai, like put that in the chat. Yeah, like that. Yeah, and I thought that too. Like that there were going to be some interference, something crazy with Judgment Day came out that they shouldn't have, and that's what would have set up this moment. Yeah, and it's tough because like, how do you build? I mean, I guess you could still build the animosity, but like it's a little bit tougher. You know,
I think it definitely is. And I feel that I was talking to my friend that I was with, who was watching Elimination Chamber with me in the same room. And I explained to him, I was like, you could still have Finn win, just not change the championship. Now, I know a lot of people aren't the biggest fan of like disqualification finishes, but if you were going to have Dominic interfere in some way, which would still allow Finn to win, but not get the championship, as you know, that's not the plan, You still could have done it that way, and it could have furthered whatever we're going to do with Finn and Dom. But because Punk beat him cleanly, there was no interference, no Judgment Day whatsoever appearing at any point during this match. You're gonna have to pivot now hard to make me be like, all right, if the plan is still Finn and Dom, how are we gonna get there now? There was an easy layup story sitting right there, and now WWE is they have extra work that I feel like they didn't need. So of course they are in Chicago. It's Punk's hometown. I feel this is just a me thing. I don't mind Punk winning in Chicago, but I don't think Punk needed to win clean here. Like beating Finn like this, I'm like, so I mean, he hasn't really lost it, but so we're back to the Pin Balor movement.
And it was one GTS, right? Like if I recall correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't like it was kind of like surprising because I felt like the Ireland match he hit 2 or more, like there was way more.
Yeah, the Belfast match is better, but I feel
the
like
match in Belfast was a lot more entertaining and it was a lot more well paced than this one was.
I just feel like it wasn't about Finn. It was making Punk look strong to go against Roman. And then Roman's shitty tweet about how like the crowd and the champion look tired, which feels real ick. But I feel like Finn was such an afterthought. It's like, oh, Punk needs to get a win. He's to show how great he is to go on to Roman.
Yeah, I just feel bad for Finn. I feel like Punk as champion, you could have still had him win, but Judgment Day would have made, Finn win the match, but disqualification, so therefore Punk doesn't lose the title. And then we have 7 weeks. You could have had a really fun program where Punk wants to fight Dominic, and then, because Roman is going to be there, 4 dates leading into the 7 weeks of Mania? So Punk could have done something else. And now I know you don't want champions to overextend themselves, and we can't afford anyone else to get hurt leading into Mania season. But there could have been some fun stuff to Mania, but now we have 7 weeks, and I can already tell where this is going to go. Roman's going to say something, and then Punk's going to say something when Roman's not there. We're going to keep going back and forth, and then the week of leading into Mania is when we're going to see them go face to face. I'm like, we played this last year. I hated it then. I hated it now.
Agreed.
So that's my issue. And then the men's chamber was fun. I know that they don't want Javon to go too ham, but I was expecting more from Javon, which was a little disappointed. But because this is not even his first 6 months on the job here on main roster, he's going to have plenty of more moments, which is going to be fun. Now, WWE, I'm going to give you this idea. I'm telling you that ladder match for Melo's United States Championship is still on the docket. I want it badly. And please let it happen because I want to see people go flying. It would be fantastic.
You could actually probably throw in with maybe some of the MFT stuff with Solo Sikoa and maybe even just that storyline to that. We want to have a ladder match at Mania for the US title.
I think the US
just for the lantern.
I still love the lantern ladder.
No, I think for the US it should be Mello and Trick, and then they need to do one hell of a promo package to tell all their history at NXT. To me, that's a the one-on-one match that should be just the two of them for the US belt. But
right, and so my whole thing is so like I said earlier, we have the main card for the remaining championships built. Of course, we also have Brock Lesnar's open challenge, and if it is not Oba Femi, I don't want it. WWE, unless it's Oba answering that open challenge, I don't want it. But yeah, we have 7 weeks, and I'm pretty sure we're probably going to get Io and Julia for the United States Championships, which I wouldn't be mad at. I'm afraid, based on where we are right now, I see a lot of multi-person matches for championships leading into Mania, which screams, oh, we can't build a story outside of the championships, so let's throw whoever we got into the mix. The only multi-person match I would be okay with is if it's that ladder match for the United States Championship, or if you're going to give me the fatal four-way of, the girls from Japan who all were there at the same time. If we're going to do a fatal four-way, do it for the women's United States, and it'd be Julia, Io, Asuka, and Kairi. Give me my Joshi wrestling because it would be
That would be
fantastic.
really
I would lose my mind. And then I don't know what else we do for the women's intercontinental, men's. I don't know if the tag team championships will make it on the card somewhere. Who knows? But we got 7 weeks. WWE is on the road to WrestleMania, so their time in the pay-per-view spotlight is out. And so now my attention turns towards March and April, or at least the beginning of April, where now it's NXT's turn because now we got Vengeance Day coming up next week. And then we have and for the first time since its inception in April, Stand and Deliver is no longer part of WrestleMania weekend, which I was like, I'm sad, but thank God there's already enough that we're covering during WrestleMania weekend.
I think so, for the talent that had to be there at 5 in the fucking morning.
I was like, you poor babies.
The night before and listen to Triple H drone on for 100 years.
It
I know,
was crazy.
Part of me, but I'm sort of glad that it gets to be its own little thing.
It really, really does. And I will tell you, as somebody who did double duty when Mania was in Los Angeles at SoFi, that Saturday I was exhausted by the end of night 1 of Mania because we got to get up super early. We went to Stand and Deliver at the Staples Center, and then we made our way over to SoFi getting ready for night 1 of Mania. So I appreciate that NXT is literally standing on its own for Stand and Deliver, which of course we'll be doing a watch along because that's the biggest NXT show of the year. So we got to support the NXT talent now that we're at a reset and we have new talent. So we got to establish people.
Sure.
I'm looking forward to that watch along. Mikey, we had fun on your watch along yesterday. It was a blast.
Oh, it was so much fun. It was an absolute joy. And originally we weren't going to do one for Chamber, but I'm like, why not? It gives me an excuse to hang out with my crew and my new friends. So it was a win-win for everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was a good time. Good time. Mikey, before we let you get out of here, what is your last shot, sir?
So my last shot this is just my thoughts at the top of my head that I gave for Elimination Chamber. If you are looking for my full detailed thoughts or just to hear me and my crew complain more about Elimination Chamber and give our predictions for what we want to see at Mania, tomorrow night at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, we will be doing our post show for Elimination Chamber. So me and Kilt and the rest of the WWE pay-per-view squad will be there. And then stay tuned for the next couple of weeks because I will be releasing it. I have finalized it. Nick got to preview it the other day, but I will be posting our Hell Week schedule, which includes a lot. So in the next couple of weeks, you're going to start to see what that is, how that works, where you can find us. And we are preparing ourselves for Mania weekend, not just in-house, but all the exciting plans we got with our new friends. So more information on that to come in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's exciting. You're going to be part of Podmania this year. And
Podmania.
Reese, I know Reese is also backstage. We're taking it internationally this year, so we're excited for that. So
Back for
Mikey,
round 2, here for it.
Electric Boogaloo.
Deuce, that's how Jerk Deux, right? Isn't that the French way of saying
Sure.
Duh, like part duh.
Part
Un, deux, trois.
I like Electric Boogaloo, but we'll workshop.
Yeah, listen, there's still plenty of time to figure that out. But Mikey, pleasure as always. We'll catch you next time tomorrow night. Ladies and gentlemen, Mikey.
Bennett.
I know.
Bennett.
He's just a great.
Bennett.
He's a real ring-a-ding-dong dandy. Thanks, guys.
All right, Nikki, we got some regulars backstage patiently waiting, so let's hit it up because there's a lot to get to. I know he's passionately wants to talk about this. I know he's been upset about it. He doesn't agree as much about this, but it'll be a fun one because he's bringing the storm, a little bit of lightning because Jade's bringing the storm at WrestleMania, but we got the storm here with a little bit of lightning. Reese, So
we're shocked at 3.
Reese was the masked man all along. It was you. Or V for Vendetta. You can also V for Vendetta.
Oh, I'll take that. I'll take that comparison.
We
It's one of my
did-
favorite movies.
So
Wait, we
Nikki's
did. We got married on Guy Fawkes Day. That is our anniversary.
So remember the 5th of November is Nikki's.
Because I had to get him to remember the date.
Yeah.
There's a rhyme.
That's one of my favorite movies as well.
Oh, it's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, Hugo
And-
Weaving's phenomenal in that.
Natalie
It's
Portman's
20 years old, that movie. That movie's 20 years this year.
I'm old.
That
Still
movie
old.
is. Oh, I was gonna say older than July.
It's basically the character's called V, played by Hugo Weaving. Basically, he goes up against the North Korean equivalent of the UK, where basically the UK is now held under like a dictatorship, and basically he wants to oppose the political outrage where the UK is under complete lockdown in some sort of circumstance, and he's basically the one oppressor, and Natalie Portman gets brainwashed, which is actually quite good.
Natalie. Actually, I think that's what made me make her.
It's like the final scene is one of the best film scenes you'll ever see, where his body, which is completely destroyed, because obviously his character is the idea. It's like he's not the person, he's the idea. Where basically like his body is on a train covered in bullets because he's been shot to he's had a clip emptied into him, and he's on a train through the London Underground, and he goes and he blows up the old Bailey building. But the idea is to fight against your oppressors, which in this case is the British government, which is just a shithole anyway.
Reese, speaking of oppressors, who's oppressing you right now from Elimination Chamber?
Who's oppressing me right now? Well, it's not this new background, that's for sure. It's not this new background, that's for sure.
Hold on. Do it again.
Hold on.
Wrestling Never Thought. I love it.
It's so good.
Thank you. I literally spent all evening from our prediction, like our preview show on Friday night, all the way through to the Saturday morning, which was like 6 o'clock. And then I woke up like 11 o'clock yesterday morning, and I just carried on through the whole day. And then that was it. So I've been editing nonstop. Mental. I'm committed to this.
People say this all the time to me, like, because Nikki's like, what are you doing in the basement for 6 hours? And it's like,
people think content creating is easy. Well, tell that to me, who owns 3 podcasts on 1 channel.
Tell that to someone who doesn't know what it is.
Come back and tell me when you find that level of grafting. You won't.
Yeah.
But hey, it's all about lipsticks and lariats, eh?
Reese, what do you think?
I'm painfully honest. I can't help myself, but it's the worst WWE pay-per-view I've watched in years. I'm sorry, but it is. I just don't. Yeah, I know people have liked. To be fair, I say all the time, if people like the event, they like the event, like more the merrier. But and I say the same. If you didn't like the event, the same thing. I really did not like the event. I thought the event lacked ingenuity. I thought it lacked energy. I thought it lacked fun. And I'm not discrediting Danhausen. That was not fun, but that was exactly what I thought it was going to be. So I don't need to just worry about that. But when I look at a pay-per-view or a major event, I'm looking for big results. I'm looking for big drama, and I'm looking for fulfillment of an angle, or I'm looking for an angle to start or extend itself. I got none of that. And the part where I actually almost got what I wanted was the men's chamber. I got what I was asking for I got what I was wanting in terms of the Drew McIntyre interference. I know a lot of people were not happy with this, and I understand.
I was going to ask you about that, because like with your criteria, I was like, well, like a storyline that's further, that the main event definitely furthered that whole story.
Exactly. So I know a lot of people were not happy about because they've done that so many years in a row now, where someone interferes in the Elimination Chamber, and I completely understand that. But for me, Drew McIntyre actually interfering in this chamber makes sense with all the plans of having a multi-man match for the WWE title in Mania. I'm okay with it. I just think the fact is they made him look like a chump. Even though Orton wins the Chamber, I actually think it made Drew McIntyre look like a chump, which doesn't help him at all. To then have the masked man reveal all in the same match, I think it took for me that took away. Now Drew's not buried before someone tries and use the buried video. They didn't need to have Seth do this whilst Drew is getting his moment of fulfilling his actual duty of you've got a story to advance. It took that away from me, so like it's a bit of a letdown. But my only thing is now, does that mean Seth Rollins has to once again wrestle Logan Paul at Mania? Because I already expect Seth Rollins, but I've been saying it for ages. I'm standing by it. Seth Rollins will interfere. Seth Rollins will interfere in the match versus Roman Reigns and CM Punk at Mania. He's going to screw Roman Reigns, and then the minute that match ends, he's going to pedigree CM Punk on a steel chair. Hopefully, it won't be signed by a steel chair, but I think he will.
You think night 1 or night 2?
Oh, that night 2 main event. There's no there's no way Cody Rhodes is getting to main event and not like night 2 over Roman Reigns.
Especially that storyline, I agree.
No,
like that storyline doesn't happen.
Then in theory,
enough.
Seth can still have his match night 1 and then interfere night 2. Again, I'm not mad at that.
It's like
I don't want to have Seth Logan 1-on-1, but Seth anything, I'm here for.
It's like picture this, like this is like WrestleMania 21. The WWE title, even though it was their major title, it's not at that moment the bigger title than the world title on Raw. So at this moment, the Raw title is their main title. So the World Championship will absolutely headline night 2. And Drew, whoever's in that match with Drew, well, actually, to be fair, it might be Cody. I don't know. The way they're doing it, I think it's going to be weird. When they get to Mania night 1, 7 weeks yesterday, I think that's the reality of it. I don't think I think it's so misconstrued and it's not going well, but I just feel like Drew McIntyre had his moment and they took it from him by having Seth in that because they're not talking as much about Drew's interference because now you've got to suffer on Friday Drew versus Cody again in a one-on-one.
It's fair, but see, here's the other thing I think about now, and I'm torn because
of course
I go back to this because like WWE and AEW has this much better WWE where they spread out their PLEs, pay-per-views, whatever you call it. And 7 weeks is an eternity. For WWE, 7 weeks is an eternity to build up storylines. So that's why I get like torn. But like to the same extent, when you talk about WrestleMania season, there's guys like Roman Reigns who are never, and Brock Lesnar, who are going to be around once every 3 weeks. So you talk yourself those moments. So like I'm kind of torn because like part of me is like, traditionally, if you told me any other time you're giving me 7 weeks as a booker to build up for a pay-per-view, I could give you a card. I feel like I could give you a decent enough build-up for any match because you have 7 weeks, and if the talent presumably is a full-time talent that they'll be there every week, you could get enough interactions that it's got enough momentum every single feud, 6-7 matches worth. But the fact that you have so many part-time talent that are relied on for the main event scene, and it will monopolize a lot of the TV time is worrisome. So, like, I don't know.
This is why like Nikki was spot on about Roman Reigns in 4 dates, etc. And Mikey said the exact same thing. Like, if you use Roman, for example, people are saying this match is all hype. Like, this match is going so much hype for Mania. No, it doesn't, because people are going to have to realize that CM Punk has to carry a feud for 7 weeks, and we'll love him or hate him, but CM Punk is not going to manage to be able to carry this all the way through Mania.
But he did. Drew did a lot without.
No, but Drew was there though. Drew was on social media. Drew was
but social media.
Yeah, but Drew is better at social media than Roman.
I just don't think Roman's going to be able to get the message delivered the way that makes sense for it to work to Mania, because his 4 dates don't actually build enough consistency. CM Punk's going to have to do what? See the way this is going. It's going to literally be like how Cena kept calling out Taker every week until he eventually got Taker at Mania. It's going to be the same sort of thing where Punk is just going to keep calling him out.
So it's basically every other week, though. You're saying he's there, which is not terrible.
I think
Still
WWE
not strong.
thinks that there's more storyline between Punk and Roman that there actually is. 'Cause honestly, there's really not. Besides last year, that like I want your wise man because he was my guy first.
Mhm.
But that's it.
They only had one match together. They only had one match together when Punk faced the Shield before they split in 2014. He only had one match with Roman on Raw.
Because they're like, this is the most hyped, this is the biggest hyped Mania match ever. There's no fucking story.
It. I think when you look at it though, like, and this is just like the thing is like, I think they are banking on this being such a big money making match. But for me, for it to be that, and I don't rate Roman anyway, you would have to remove my brain and then give me the brain from the Scarecrow and Wizard of Oz for that to happen. But like, I don't see how this works when you've only got him on TV for just March. He's not going to be on TV for April. When it gets to April, there's 3 weeks left of Mania season to get into Mania. So there's genuinely not enough to build. Jesus, Ed. I've gone on my second more. I seen that. I was like, oh Jesus. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm not shitting on it. I'm just criticizing that this is the problem. Like, and Nikki, you're spot on. It's part timers. Nick here as well. It's part timers. You can't have a Josiah. Like, yes, you cannot have a part timer being in your main event scene for your world championship. A part timer, if they're going to be in Mania, a part timer should just be in an advertised special.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I think not to give Brock Lesnar anything, but that's what the Brock thing is going to be. That's like your fun little, you're taking over from a Taker. This is your fun little sideshow match. It's, as much as I hate Brock Lesnar, but it's like, yeah, but then don't have another part timer because then were you going to dig up all the stuff between Punk and Rock again? That like you're a part timer, I'm still here. I gotta.
Yeah.
If Roman Reigns fucking wins, I will cry. I think I will shit cry.
I think either Punk's going to win clean or there's going to be an interference angle which helps Punk win and then Punk gets battered black and blue after the match. I think it's going to be right now. I think in Italy, in Turin, it's going to be Rollins versus Punk and Rollins beats Punk in Turin. And then they'll run the rematch back at SummerSlam because Money in the Bank obviously is after that, so there's no risk of a Money in the Bank cash-in.
Yeah,
that'll be your SummerSlam main event because they're doing 2 nights as well. That'll be the SummerSlam Night 2 main event.
I literally said that at Rumble. I was like, anyone but Roman.
And
yeah, that should be a tagline. ABR, anyone but Roman.
Anyone but Roman.
Yeah, but I have a weird theory. I've got a weird theory. I haven't seen anyone else bring this up, so maybe I'm just the only one who fought it because I'm insane. But I had a weird theory that I brought up on my show that we did a couple hours ago. And my theory was when you watched the women's IC title match, did you ever get a feeling that AJ Lee, even though it's in, Money in the Bank is after SummerSlam, that's right. I think, and this is the weird theory I have. I think Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee, that ending was as they're leaving the curtain, because the way that match ended, that looked so sloppy. It didn't look right, and to me, it looked like Becky's like, just go for it. I think they were told at Gorilla, AJ, you're winning this by submission. I think you're winning this.
Tapping was a little surprising because
exactly, and that's what I'm thinking. I think as they're going out.
Like, I didn't think that
she tapped at WrestlePalooza. She tapped at War Games. Why is this surprising?
I think this is literally like, I genuinely think they were told as they're going out because I think they didn't have a clue who was winning. I think this was last minute by the way the match ended because it looked so sloppy at the very end. And I'm like, and I just had that vibe. I was like, no. I was like, nah, there's no way they went into this beforehand going, AJ Lee's definitively winning. I don't think she was. I think this was a last minute call because of who they are. Either you do it now or you wait till Mania, and they thought, we can do it now and then we can have the rematch 7 weeks from now. Maybe an I Quit match. Who knows? But I think that's what I keep seeing as well, that the rematch is going to be an I Quit.
I don't love the ending, but I don't think it was a last-minute call. I can't
The
see
way it
being-
looked to me is the vibe I got. Like,
But that's so. Here's why. For this reason, I think it's too extreme to make someone tap to be a last-minute call, and to make that such a rash decision for someone's character.
doesn't need to be some.
But like, I just think that.
But that's how she wins, though.
Yeah,
It is, but like you could have her. Like, I feel like AJ could win with a Shining Wizard or something else. Like, you don't have to have her win with a tap.
I get
that's
your
her move.
point, but I'm just like, what I'm saying is like, when you just watch that a little bit back, it doesn't look like they actually knew who was going to win. Like, not in the sense of, oh, we're fans, we're not supposed to. We just predict them for the hell of it. I just mean from a logical sense of the actual show. When you watch that ending sequence, it doesn't look like it, because Becky's standing there for about 10, 15 seconds and she's looking at her like gunning her. And then she goes and does the Black Widow. So that to me is, there's no way that was a planned finish. I think they literally said last minute, like, go. Because Stephen, I think, was spot on when Stephen put it in the chat as well, because that echoed my point of view. Stephen's like, they're like, do they do this now or do they do it at Mania? For which one's better? I generally think they thought, you know what, we're in Chicago, let's just make the decision now. Bad call. They should have waited. But the reason why I think they're going to do a rematch is because they're going to use a rematch to erase people's memory of that match. They're going to try and erase the memory.
I mean, again, everyone wants a redo if you do it bad. But like, the ultimate thing is like the hesitant. I will play Nick, as Nikki says, devil's avocado here.
Feel free.
Could be, again, 10-year absence outside of the ring. The hesitancy could just be, there's so many spots. I don't know if she's Macho Man Randy Savage, like memorizing every spot, or she's more of like a on-the-fly wrestler. Like, there's shit I forget 90%. Like, even during the show, Nikki's like, I just said that. Like things happen, and like during the course, especially when you're doing an athletic presentation
in front of how many people.
So, like, I don't know. It's a good question. It could be yes, like a last minute spot adjustment, or is it just she's 10 years out of the ring and this is just what's the next spot? Oh, it's the ending.
But now I'm interested to rewatch that ending from your lens.
It's just how I saw it. It's just like, it just gave me that vibe. But also, here's the question: why are they, even though it's in Chicago, I get it's in Chicago, but why did it have to be AJ Lee? Like, she's not been around for a while. Like, there's a lot of hardworking women that have actually worked hard for a championship opportunity. I was like, why not? I mean, you can't give it to Maxine because she's going to do a Jesus tomorrow. But what I mean is, like, why not reward someone who's worked hard for it? That's just like I say, it's just my thoughts, but
I feel that we're slowly slipping back into relying on the part-timers, on the old guard. You're not pushing the new babies like Javon and Trick and Maxine. However you feel about Maxine, again, give a girl a chip and a chair, she'll show out. But again, I'm old as fuck, but everyone's like 40. And then you have Javon Evans that's 21. Like, you gotta start pushing people at some point.
Could have done Sol Ruka. I mean, they could have done Sol Ruka as like a one-off, like for hard work she put in, I suppose. But like I say, it's not like it's a element of that. But if they do get this rematch, they will. First of all, 3 things will happen, and then I'm bouncing because I am tired, long day.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Excuse me. That cough still exists.
Oh, baby.
So they're going to give them 5-10 more minutes at Mania. Those two. They're going to have 5-10 more minutes. There's going to be a stipulation. And then they're going to have, somewhere or another, they're going to have a moment in there that makes people forget the chamber match. Because that's the plan now, because they will go full and going, we have to do better. It's going to be that mindset, you know what I mean? Like, we must do better, which I get why. I don't necessarily think so, Josiah. I just think that's what they're going to do. They're going to give them a bit longer to get to that. That's where my mind is coming from, you know.
So Reese is thinking they're going to redeem themselves. We'll see. Get an opportunity to redeem themselves. Reese, pleasure.
I mean, you can't redeem Jade Cargill, that's for sure, but Good seeing you all, and I'm the only storm that matters.
Of course. Reese, you know I love you immensely.
Great stuff from Reese as always. Nikki, next up, he's been trolling the chat, and you know he's going to stir up the hornet's nest here. Let's get it ready. We need to know what's in his head.
Yeah, Darby Allin sucks. What's up, guys?
It threw me off because I saw your face before it went to the thing. I was like, are we not doing the thing? And I'm just doing the
Ed's
thing.
pulling the Sami Callihan hacker gimmick and just like feed Rollins.
No, I honestly would need to gain another 200 pounds to be Sami Callihan. Now, apparently he got injured and like wasn't able to work out the same. And
life changed for him.
Yeah, bummer. What could have been, you know?
Yeah, what could have been?
Any losers.
Yeah, I listened. OVE was fun, man. I feel like I was like one of 5 people watching TNA at that point. But yeah, I mean, listen, you can't call them Ohio is for killers because nobody wants to put killer on a TV. You know, except for MLW. Shout outs to friend of the show, Killer Cross.
I know, right?
It'd be on.
Which we're working on something. They're coming this way in June.
Ooh. That could be fun. But yeah, I was gonna say MLW is such hit or miss. Like it's either really good or it's not. It's never anywhere in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they'll do. But anyway, Ed,
absolutely.
What are you drinking? What are you thinking, buddy?
I'm just drinking water. I was trying to stay hydrated. I'm getting old.
You didn't have the 102 that Mikey's got. You got the 50.
What are we, 47?
So I'm slacking apparently tonight. No, but what I'm thinking, I did want to just talk about the not that I disagree with Reese. I do want to talk about the flip side though, with Punk and Roman, right? To us, there's not a lot going on in the like immediate, right? Because it's just Roman just comes back and he's like, "Hey, fuck you, Punk. I'm gonna beat you up," kind of thing. But your casual viewer, these are the two of the 3 biggest guys in the company. So like it makes sense. And really, you know, if you're going back 10, 13, 14 years, they do have a lot of history. I mean, I was joking when I was saying you got to make Roman look really strong, but that's part of their story right now. Roman straight up said that he was like, listen, you went on your friend's podcast and you made my life the hardest it ever was.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, the built-in story of Punk bringing in the Shield and then all that stuff, like it's sort of there. It's kind of there. It's not my favorite way to do this, but it's a way to do it. And I don't know who else or what else I would book just to get a massive WrestleMania main event, especially after the Cody Rhodes John Cena match last year. You know, we've talked about that a bunch.
Yeah,
I understood what they were doing, but was it a fun watch? Not really.
Nope.
Yeah.
And the worry is because the main event for Cody Cena was not well received, and now we're going into this Roman Punk thing, and then next year we're at Saudi. So I was like, are you gonna have 3 shit manias in a row?
I'm 100% convinced we're doing WrestleMania 2, and it's gonna be 2 different locations that are being conditioned.
Saudi money is paying for Saudi stuff.
The clash, the 2. Ed, you were last week, whatever week it was, when we did Nikki's News, they did Clash in Italy and Backlash in the US.
Backlash so Tampa, then they go to Italy.
Yeah, so, and they call it Clash in Italy. So basically there's 2 clashes in the same month. And my theory on this is that they're 100% conditioning the audience to having 2 different locations. And they're getting us ready for WrestleMania. It's going to be night 1 in Saudi, night 2 in US, or vice versa, whatever.
I wouldn't be mad at that. I don't know if that's the way to go. I feel like that kind of shafts your You
watch Royal Rumble, right?
Yeah. I absolutely 100% flew to the UK to watch it on Netflix.
Dude, I'm proud of you. Yeah, that's a lot of effort, but you know what?
Patreon.
At this point, ticket prices and everything, I wouldn't be surprised if it was cheaper. But like to me, like the reaction and everything else, I think they thought it was going to be a much, much bigger event. Like they were going to get that UK reaction in Saudi, and I don't think they got that at Royal Rumble. Like a bigger crowd, like it looked empty, and I think they were like it was like a oh shit moment. Like maybe we need to redo everything.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. That place apparently was like jam packed to like almost capacity. It just that lighting made it look like nobody was sitting in those seats. Really, I'm like it was a cool aesthetic of just like all the lights and stuff. But like I had the same thought of like, hey, wait, what the fuck? Like, is nobody here? Certain camera shots are like, oh no, there's people there. You just can't tell because the blinding fucking lights in the way, right? Not the best move. And that was a weird tag too.
The audio, like the ambient, like they weren't like they're like cheering along. It's like, but like it wasn't like it's not like the Clash in Paris crowd that's like crazy. Like that I think they were
like AJ Styles.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say AJ got a really good response at Saudi, but that was about it. But no, I hear what you're saying. There wasn't like this massive, it wasn't Paris, it wasn't Puerto Rico. It hasn't been the shows in the UK, it's none of the overseas stuff. And really at this point, that's what I want to see. I'm interested in that because what we're doing here really feels, and I can joke about it's Ruthless Depression era, but really this is like, and I don't want to steal Steven's thunder, but I think he might be kind of going in a similar place. We're getting like a lot of just these like thank you tours or these retirement tours for all these 40 plus guys. Because like, I'm not saying Punk's going to retire tomorrow, but he got the Michael Jordan entrance. You know what I mean? Like, he got that. He got the moment with his wife.
He's getting moments that you give main eventers like Hall of Famers. Like,
and he's only got a couple years left in him. I remember him saying that or somebody reported. It might have just been Meltzer, so who knows if it's true. Who knows if any of the shit that gets reported is true? Like nobody works there, right? But it's one of those that like, oh, they signed a 6-year deal, right? Like, all right, well, did he? Because it sounds like he's only going to be here like another year or so. And the way that he moves, as much as I love Punk, because I'm like, that the match with him and Balor was fun, but like, he's only got so much left in the tank.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's a good point because like those moments where they like least what's the word? What's the term I'm looking for? Like Tony Khan does it all the time, where he pays for the like,
licensing.
Licensing. That's the word. I don't know why I can think of it. But like the licensing for like those big ticket items, like I don't care. Like any original music, WWE's rarely like the theme was a remix of Bodies by like a bunch of rappers or whatever. I don't know.
Offset.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a rapper, right?
He was part of Migos.
Yeah. So I don't know. But point is, like, they don't usually pay like for those big hit songs. Like War Pigs is a rarity, right? For war games, like that they use those themes. So like when they're gonna do it, it's gonna be someone who's super duper established. And like Punk's reached that. I would argue like Hall of Fame, like right, The Rock, like not like the level, like The Rock could say whatever the frig he wants. Like, and they're like, oh, it's just The Rock. And like he's like, I'm gonna call CM Punk on TV. Remember he did that 10 years ago. Like, there's certain people that you have to get to that level where they'll let you do things like that. And I just love that. I mean, yeah, like especially because selfishly I did the Alan Parsons preview on our show here. So and I was like, did it. And then I ran in and yelled at Nikki. And I was like, I did that. They stole my idea.
Hey, got him. No, but I 100% agree with you. Punk has definitely hit that status, whether or not that was the plan for WWE. Again, I don't work there. I don't work in creative. I have no idea what they think of him. I know that Triple H and I know that Paul and Phil hug a lot in the back now. So, I guess they're friends. But
they matured, Ed. Matured.
Yeah. John Cena cried about it. No, but it's one of those things that, like, creative looks at Punk as like he's one of the guys. He's finally one of the guys. He's bought in, so he's doing all the corporate advertising, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
He's like one of 3 or 4 guys. He's one of the faces that they can tote out there. It's him, it's Roman, it's Cody, and I struggle to think of a fourth. Maybe Seth. But your casual audience doesn't really know who Seth is. They might.
Seth, yeah. Like when you talk about like names that like I look at like the press conferences. Randy would have been, but like
Randy's in such a weird spot, especially now, right? Because this dude is so like this guy is made for the rest of his life, right? This guy could be for 6 months and then pop back up, and everybody's singing his song, and the the cameras are shaking, everybody's going crazy. He's hitting RKOs left and right, and you could slot him into a main event tomorrow, right? Like he could be gone for 2 years, and you could slot him into a main event tomorrow, and it's gonna the crowd's gonna act like he hasn't or that he's been there the whole time.
True.
And your casual fan knows exactly who he is, right? You go Randy Orton, people go, I fucking know that guy. But what do you do with him right now? Like, he just won Elimination Chamber and he's going to go up against Drew. But like, do you care? Is that like, do you guys want to see that?
That's not going to be the match, though. You got Cody, you got Jacob, you got Sammy. That's, and then
but
you
I feel like the last couple of years that's what the Elimination Chamber is kind of.
Nick Aldis on the post show said that on Friday it's Drew and Cody for the belt. So do you weirdly have Drew drop it back to Cody, or do you make a smash finish and then you make it a 5-way, make it a 4-day?
Because Jacob's the only one who hasn't been, and he's been screwed over by Drew, and like his anger, he gets, and like that's why it's a fatal 4-way. It's like every time someone gets involved who shouldn't be, but like you understand why they should be. So now here's 4 guys beat the shit out of each other.
Because I was going to be like, then what was the point of taking the belt off Cody? But that was the time to take the belt off of Cody. Drew deserved it, right? But at this rate, then why add Logan Paul? Why add my boy Javon? Why add why add Trick Williams? Why not just put Sammy and everybody else that's had issues in the main event scene? Why not just put them all in the Elimination Chamber and figure that out there?
Because
you need to start building new stars.
Yeah,
I mean that's the answer, right? Trick Williams looked amazing. Javon looked amazing. Like, these guys deserve these spots. LA Knight not being in this match would have signed his death warrant. The internet already thinks they signed his death warrant because he fucked up that elbow drop.
Poor baby.
You should stop doing it, honestly.
I feel like he just gets razzled in big moments, and maybe he's just not clutch. Like that, there's a clutch gene that maybe turn like some athletes, and just maybe it's just like he just can't like. And it's nothing like maybe you're a great mid card talent. That's just what's going to be. Like, you've been given time and time again. Just like every time he tries to,
he needs to retire that move.
Yeah, I was going to say, A, retire the move. B, hire a sports psychologist. Chael Sonnen said it really well. That he was like, I was always a silver medalist, always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Chael Sonnen's a former UFC middleweight fighter. If Nick, if you didn't know.
Also weirdo.
Yeah. But he very famously was like, fought Anderson Silva, kicked his ass for, almost a half hour straight. And with like 15 seconds left, like he literally was beating this guy like half to death, taking him down at will, punching the guy in the face for almost a half hour. Within like, with I want to say 30 seconds, 10 seconds left of the fight, he's in Anderson's guard. Anderson throws up his legs, grabs a triangle and an arm bar, and Chael taps out. And it was one of those that, like, all right, like, so he gets a rematch and then loses. But hires a sports psychologist after the fact, and it was like, oh, I had a bunch of mental blocks like stopping me. Like, it wasn't Anderson that beat him; Chael beat himself, and that was most of his career. That he'd go up against the champion and lose. but like he'd cut a bloody swap on his way there and then go up against a champion and lose. And it's like, it didn't even look like the same guy that was fighting to get there. Maybe that would help LA Knight because the guy's got charisma for days. The guy gets a reaction that most of the rest of the roster would kill for. If Obafemi got the reaction that LA Knight gets, like strap a rocket to that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to get there. I mean, I was texting the group chat the other night with Oba just being like, Miz, I'm going to fucking kill you. I'm like, yeah, no, give this guy everything. Give him all the belts. Like, but he'll get there. They'll all get there. I said that again. I'm sorry.
I equated this before, and I feel like I got shit. But like Sabu doing the jump to the chair and the out of the thing. How many times did he fucking botch that?
80% of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll tell you he did it on purpose, but
yeah. But then like when he actually hit it, it was amazing. And I feel like with LA Knight, it's the same thing. When he jumps up and hits it, it's amazing. But it's the diminishing returns. Like he doesn't hit it a majority of the time. Then like, baby, let's put this away. And I don't want to comparing Sabu and LA Knight. I feel like it's maybe sacrilegious somewhere. But I just feel like
Sabu Knight, yeah.
But I'm just like, maybe just put that away. Just maybe. Again, I love him so much, but I feel like the BFT is not great, and I feel like you can't hit this elbow drop. I'm like, I want to root for you so badly, but they're giving you nothing.
Shoes of a champion. Like, give this guy everything. I love this guy. Honestly, not for nothing. You making the Sabu comparison? Maybe we do need Sabu Knight. You know, he comes out with the pants and the boots. You know, the music. He does the pose.
Let me talk to you.
Yeah. But
Nikki, do the Sabu right now.
Oh no!
Do it.
Let me talk to you.
Do it again.
Let me talk to you.
So much of my fucking face.
I think this is money. I'm going to be honest. I think we got something here. I think he's just the LA Knight character, but he does the Sabu point. Yeah. Sabu comes out with the pants and the boots.
Stop! Oh,
you bring back Rikishi as the Sultan as his.
You have to do like
his manager.
That's like
a morph. Like you start as the Sabu and then you do the L to the A.
Yeah, see,
like a Diamond Dallas Page.
As you punch
as I destroy our whole bar.
Should bring back a DDP to manage him too. This will be great. We got this.
We got seriously this fancy booking that we got going on this show. At some point in time,
elsewhere weenie.
We will release some sort of footage of like our fantasy booking of like the cappuccino junk cold brew and all this stuff. I need to go back because Steven had a whole rant 2 weeks ago on like
that was fantastic.
And they basically killed a child or something like that. I don't know.
I forget what the rant was about, but holy shit, was it good?
It's basically like just leave the kid on the side of the road because it's not worth spending like $1,000 on him coming to the event. Basically.
Speaking of leaving people on the side of the road, I got two things I want to talk about. One, holy shit, fuck Darby Allin. You guys saw that, right? Holy shit. I know it was last week, but man.
Girl, tell me everything.
I mean, there's not really much to talk about except for like, fuck that guy. Like every time that he's doing something in some kind of interview, he just comes off like a bigger piece of shit. Like, did you guys see the interview with him and
So for those out there that are listening, Darby Allin got thrown out of
an Uber
last week, which is if I were Tony Khan, I'd be on the phone with Lyft immediately trying to get an advertisement. If you like, that's what good business people do. This is exactly your opportunity. But like that whole and like he's mid interview, and I guess his driver just like, which part of me I don't even know if it's because
dude, I feel for the driver if that was real, because him just being like, dude, I've been out here since 5 a.m. just like shut the fuck up. Like, yeah, I'm with it.
Like I don't know. Like part of me thinks it's at work. I don't know. I just like it seems like such a, but like part of me thinks it's at work, and it would be a really brilliant work in like a lot of ways because like it gets eyes on somebody who just no one really gives a shit about right now.
I think that's a guy that's probably is making a wage for his fucking family, and I don't want to hear this skinny twink with his face paint talking shit in the back of my car. Like
with his jorts and his fucking leggings.
Shut the fuck up. But isn't there like a settings like you prefer people that don't talk and talk? Again, I barely.
I prefer no Darby Allin. Like,
that's me every time I get into an Uber. 95% of my drivers like, who the fuck is Darby Allin?
Yeah, like
not you. Perfect. Come pick me up, bud.
Filtered into the app.
I don't know. It's
no
it
tattoos.
Feels so because everything he got hit by a fucking bus. He did climbed a mountain. Like, I'm just like, it's too much.
It's so stupid. Like, it's fucking 1-star behavior, bro. Fuck you. Like,
I
get out.
Did he say that to him?
No, it was the guy that Darby was with.
Oh, there's two of them?
Yeah, there was a guy in the car with Darby. It's like, oh, it's fucking 1-star behavior, bro. And the guy's like, I don't care. Get out. Like, get out of my car.
No.
I'm
Oh,
an asshole.
yeah. It's so ick.
That and most of the interview that he did with Chris Van Vliet was him just being like, "Oh, wasn't it cool when like I got like dumped on my head from 15 feet in the air?" Like, no, it wasn't.
To be honest, I noticed that.
I caught like a reel or two, and he was like, Chris was just asking what the craziest bumps were that he took, and he was like, "Oh, when Cesaro like chucked me from the ring to the announce table." He was like, "I was hoping it wouldn't break because it would look cooler." And it's like, do you just want to die?
I think he does.
Like when Cesaro, like
honestly,
when they like take a bag of like sand and it's like, this is a 200-pound, like whatever, 150-pound bag of sand, and you're just like, how far can I throw it? And like that was kind of like the deal because Darby, literally, he's the tiniest person I've ever seen. He's like Darby Allin. Book him versus Hornswoggle. I'd put over Hornswoggle in that match. I'd still think Hornswoggle would have a shot. Like he must weigh 80 pounds.
I mean, listen, it worked for Spike Dudley. You know, but Spike was one of those things that was fun watching him get thrown around by Mike Awesome and Bam Bam because he eventually would come back. You know, he had that like ultimate underdog thing.
Yes.
He also seemed like a wholesome dude. So like it worked.
Sure. He's a teacher.
Yeah.
Was a teacher.
I think is again.
Okay.
But yeah, it's one of those that like to me it doesn't work with Darby because like the guy just kind of sucks as a person.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, good. I'm glad Cesaro, Claudio threw you into the front row. Like, throw him farther next time.
Great.
But I did want to bring up real quick. I want to say it was 2 weeks ago. You asked me who was in the box, and I told you it was Danhausen.
Yes.
How much fun was that dumb little segment?
So thank you, baby.
Thank you for bringing that back up. This is why I love having the call-in segment because for this reason alone, like we did the poll and I didn't back in the poll. Literally, the majority of the poll, despite some people in the chat, which I love you all in the chat.
We love you.
Despite the fact that people in the chat, some of the people in the chat were adamantly against it, like the poll was 150% all for this. So like even like. And I go back to, I don't feel like going off the comments, but like Andrew Brunswick's comment, he's never seen Danhausen. He's like, I only watched him when I saw his entrance. I started watching his videos, and this guy's hysterical. I love him. And like, that's the point. Like, and I use Sean and Matt as examples for, if we had the pencil, like our friends in the podcasting world, like they don't watch NXT, AEW, anything other than whatever shows up in main roster. And I was like, what did you think of just this guy's debut? He's a random character you just saw. What do you think? And now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure it was Matt. I keep getting dyslexic. But Matt, who said, he's like, I love it. He's like, no, he's entertaining. I'll see what happens, but like, I'm not gonna like judge it. I thought it was entertaining. Like I wasn't like disappointed. Like that's the expectation of what.
Yeah,
I'm
like.
Kind of...
Listen, if Chris Jericho came out of that box, people would have been fucking pissed. Like, what would have been the point of you taking a former main event? Like, listen, I can shit on Jericho as a person, whatever, but like, what would be the point of you taking an eventual Hall of Famer, a former multiple-time world heavyweight champion, and a guy that you're debuting that used to be on another TV show? You haven't come walking out of a box?
No, Yeah.
What are we doing? And people are like, oh, it's it's as bad as the gobbledygook, or it's as bad as
Fuck off.
it's as bad as the Shockmaster. No, it isn't.
No.
Like, Danhausen coming out of the box was the only option. Like, it's goofy as shit. It's this character to a T. Like, what do you want?
And it's his wife who choreographed this as one of the first girls that they're all doing a thing, and he came out and sometimes I said this before, I don't know if you were with us, I was like, sometimes wrestling's dumb, sometimes it's funny, and I just want to fucking laugh. This is why we love this, because it's a variety show. Give me Danhausen backstage with R-Truth. Give me him with CM Punk, obviously. Give me with Triple H. He already is trolling all of WWE right now. If you were looking at Twitter or X or whatever.
Yeah, he was asking about Cold Steve or whatever. Like, I lost my shit. Like,
yeah, yes, he did that. And then Adam Pearce always tweets love somebody today, and he's like, love Danhausen or you're cursed. He was like, when do I get access to Rock's gym? He's like, again, is Stone Cold still the thing? It's just like, he's so fucking funny.
Everybody. He's
it's gonna be so good. Just wait 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait for him to be like, yeah, I used to work at A&W. Like,
yeah, and he's about root beer.
Yeah. I can't wait. Like,
it's gonna
it
be
would have
good.
been one of those things. I wouldn't have been surprised if they just slotted him into NXT and called it a day. But this is even better because the guy doesn't have I don't need to see the comedy version of Danhausen wrestle. That's kind of not what he's for, you know?
Yeah.
If you wanted, listen, it's fun, but I still think one of his best matches was him. And I don't even remember who he was wrestling, but it was some guy at a bar somewhere that they had a Falls Count Anywhere match. But it was just him doing like the Pee Wee Herman spot from the Pee Wee Herman movie.
Yeah.
He's hitting the guy with the jar of teeth. Like, it was stupid.
Yeah.
So I don't know. If you're gonna run the comedy character, let him do the comedy thing. I cannot wait for him and R-Truth.
Oh my god.
Him and R-Truth. I said him and Kit Wilson would be super fun. Him and Kit, because Kit Wilson also tweeted it was like, oh,
here we go, money talk.
But so when WWE tweeted oh, it's Danhausen in the box. Kit Wilson tweeted toxics. Give me them backstage. Give me him and R-Truth. Again, if you put him in 30 seconds with CM Punk, everyone's gonna be eating out of his palms.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait for him to run into Punk and him just being like Pepsi Phil, you know,
yeah. Again, he's not in here to be your champion. He's not going to be your, workhorse 7-match 5-star IC champion.
You don't want 7-star Danhausen?
And
at the Tokyo Dome?
Listen, Sam's the Undertaker. Who's coming out of that box that's going to be a 7-star champion?
Because no one wants to see fucking Kane. Again, sometimes just wrestling's supposed to be fun. I want to hold our hands and have fun sometimes. Yeah. This was fun.
I agree.
This has been fun. Ed, before we let you get out of here, what's your last shot, sir?
I got 2 things. Finn Balor deserves the world. I don't know where he fits in right now, but give this guy a title.
I know.
Do something. The guy deserves it before he retires. Also, my last thing, just don't try to powerbomb Billy Kidman. You guys have seen, 96, 97, 98, 99 Nitro. Don't do it. He's going to hit you with the face buster every time.
Anyway, quickly, I love you. Tell your wife I love her more.
I will.
I owe her a text, but tell her I love her.
I'll let her know. We love you guys too.
Well done, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Darby Allin sucks.
Do a thing.
Doing a thing.
We're doing a thing. We're doing a thing.
Nikki.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I have to do the thing.
We got one last caller.
Say his name and he appears.
I believe in Steven.
will yell at you
You
with your
have no
box.
sound, sir.
I don't have sound. Unmute me. This guy with his sound. Can anyone hear me out there? Or is this a Steven issue? Is this a bad connection for Steven issue? Let me know in the chat.
Love isn't always on time. Oh, for the line. Love isn't always on time.
Steven! Stop
So
breaking my
I'm
heart.
convinced he said no sound, and then Reese said he heard it. So
I
I'm
hear,
convinced
but
Steven
did he
just
hear
wants to hear the
Steven
song.
or did
Yeah.
he hear us?
No, he heard us. But I'm convinced that Steven just does this because he wants to hear the song.
Steven!
Let's try again. Steven!
You know, here's the thing.
You just want to hear the song.
It seems to be a recurring problem for the last few weeks that every time every StreamYard and you leave a call, and then when you come back from playing the entrance theme once they're done, it comes back and there's no sound for me until I refresh the page.
You're not a fan of the creative.
From the bottom of my heart, man to man, fuck your story.
But what I am a fan of, ladies and gentlemen, is root beer. And thanks to Ed, now I kind of want a root beer.
I know. I do want AEW.
AEW is the best root beer that ever root beered in the history of root beer.
Root beer is good. Birch beer is better if you can find it, but root beer is really good. Maybe that's what that box should have been full of, was full of root beer.
That would have been funny if he came out with root beers.
Well, if he's best friends with
kind
he
of
has to have
afraid
root beer. Sorry,
I
Steven.
was kind of afraid when they were doing that spot with R-Truth that the box was going to end up being full of Papa John's pizza. And even then, I don't have a Papa John's near me, so I don't know how good that pizza is or not. But I would have been okay with it as long as none of it was like pizza with pineapple on it, which everybody knows is a war crime.
I like pineapple on pizza, though. I really do. It tastes really.
Pineapple on pizza is only for. No, I'm sorry. Pineapple on pizza is only for heathens, miscreants, and ne'er-do-wells. I'm sorry. Especially if you were raised Italian in this part of the country.
I am, and it's such a different take on it.
I hope Linda's not watching right now. We had Linda.
Linda was in. She was on Facebook. She was on Twitter. She's getting all the social. Linda T is just like social.
I have all the controversial takes today. Pineapple on pizza is bad.
Agreed. What else you got?
Let's discuss in the comments. Anyway.
Really?
Yeah, okay. So Rhea wins the women's chamber. All right, great. And then you have Becky and AJ is going to be another singles match at Mania, rematch with a stipulation. Get more into that later. I touched on this on Friday, I believe. Okay, it's rumored now Io will be involved in with Julia in a match at Mania. Okay, that's going to be your fourth ladies match, 2 a night. What are you going to do with everybody else? You've got a very deep female roster. I said this on Friday. I'm saying it again. Unless you're doing a women's tag team ladder match, what are you going to do with Charlotte? What are you going to do with Alexa, Tiffany, Jordan, Bailey? You're going to screw Bailey out of a Mania spot 2 years in a row?
Probably.
What are you going to do with Chelsea? You know, I mean, you have to have Io on the card. She's arguably top 3 most popular female wrestlers on the roster, possibly your best in-ring wrestler of any gender on the roster. You can't not have the card without her. It just, I don't see, but yet I had a feeling it was going to be Rhea, as soon as I caught the last 10 minutes of the lead up show, which I normally don't care about, but I'm like, well, it's too close to the start of the card for me to start another episode of this show, so I'll just put up with it for 10 minutes. And they started going into what sounded like this redemption angle for Rhea because they lost the tag titles the night before. I'm like, oh god, it's gonna be Rhea, isn't it?
Yeah.
And okay, that's fine. It's a good backup plan if Bianca wasn't ready, because that was the match, and it still is the match. But I just don't see, when you have a very deep, like, what are you gonna do? You cannot leave all these wrestlers off the card. There's some lady wrestlers, all right, you can probably leave off the card and know, but you have too many big names. You have too many big names like that. What are you going to do with them? The Bellas, there's another one. You think Nikki came back, and Brie came back to not be at Mania?
Very true.
Right.
What do you? Yeah. I'm sure they have an idea. Let's see how it all pans out. I mean, there's rumors that, or there's talk that Asuka will be in that match with Julia as well, and Io. And if that's true, Kyrie will probably be ringside, so that'll take care of what to do with her. I've also seen about that Becky AJ rematch at Mania being a 4-way, including Natty and Maxine. No, don't do that. No. I'm sorry. I like them both. Don't do that. This has to be AJ. That has to be AJ versus Becky with a stipulation. I think in fact, I did mention in the chat earlier today. My memory is real short nowadays. Have it. Becky's beef seems to be more with Jessica Carr than with AJ. I mean, almost as much with AJ, but more so with Jessica Carr. Jessica Carr's been wrestling down at Evolve, I think, right? Or
yeah, Evolve.
So there's going to be a match between the two of them somewhere along the way, and the more I think about it, the more I see that that's going to be the stipulation at Mania: Becky versus AJ, with Jessica Carr's job on the line in addition to the title. AJ goes over. Becky, Lieutenant or however you pronounce her name on that the Star Trek show, doesn't need it. So El Dorado goes over, and then she'll subsequently go over at the next PLE for Punk's daughter, who really should be the next in line from here.
Would she be back from the surgery that she just had?
By May, I would think so.
Yeah.
True. No, it's March to May. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah. Well, when's the next pay-per-view after Mania? It's like towards the end of May, right?
It's May 9th is Backlash, and May 29th, 31st is the Italy show.
Yeah. Okay. One of those two. One of those two. Maybe May 9th might be a little early. I mean, it's March 1st.
Yeah.
A lot can happen. I would like to think she'd be all set and good to go even by Mania. But
I mean, there's 7 weeks to WrestleMania, so yeah, like even then, like that's almost too much Mania.
But I think that's the path. Becky puts over AJ at Mania. AJ saves Jessica Carr's job, and AJ gets into it with Roxanne, and Roxanne wins the title from there, and then AJ goes off and does the other things that she does for a couple of months, because that seems to be the setup, which is perfectly fine as long as everybody has agreed to it and is happy with it.
Fair. Fair. What else you got, Steve?
What else do I got? I mean, I mentioned this in the chat too, but let's remember that Finn slipped off that same rope. When he was trying to do a move in the corner on Punk, he just caught himself, I think, a little easy, that it wasn't noticeable.
Yeah.
So, so as far as LA Knight is doing the same thing is concerned. Look, accidents happen. I know they seem to happen to LA Knight a little more often than others.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to, do his moves more in the heat of passion than anything else. Look, as long as he's not getting anybody hurt, I mean, if anything, it shows that they're human beings.
100%.
Yeah. So, as far as the winner of that goes, I mean, starting the ball in motion, that's going to be, I'm going to say gauntlet match rather than just 6 people in the ring at the same time. I'm going to say they're going to close night 1 with a gauntlet match with at least the 4 that have been talked about for so long. And then, maybe Aleister Black certainly has an argument to be in there because, he pinned Orton. Sammy, I don't think so. I think it's going to be Sammy versus Trick, or maybe maybe he'll be part of that U.S. title ladder match that Mikey mentioned earlier. I don't know. I think Ed hit it right on the head that, with the night 2 main event, I mean, I said it before, that's the match for the casual fan, Punk and Roman. You're trying to get all these casual fans into the building. So far, not working that well. But I mean, they've got about 40,000 seats sold. That's nothing to sneeze at, but that's still 2/3 of the way full only. Drop the prices, motherfuckers, already. Jesus.
Basically, Jesus Mary.
I
This is
saw
for kids and families. Kids and families cannot afford. Jesus Mary.
Yeah. See, somebody still remembers my itemization rant from a week and a half ago. But I mean, I saw something where it was like the last Mania where Vince had any kind of say. I'm not sure if it was 38 or 39. Wasn't that long ago. And the cheapest ticket prices, but the point being, whichever one it was, the cheapest ticket prices were $69. Those same seats are $240 right now, and that's without the fees and taxes. So I mean, just ridiculous. I wouldn't blame this on creative at all. It's totally, it's a lot of it's a lot of money. Don't make me go into the rant again.
No, we're gonna make that into a whole big other thing. But
that'll be a whole big thing. Finally, let's out the box.
What'd you say?
He's opening the box.
Let's talk about the box.
Yes.
Tell me, Steven, what do you think?
Steven, what are your thoughts?
All right. Well, first of all, Danhausen reminds me of one of those. In fact, they still have some to this day. Those old Saturday night horror movie hosts, especially from the '60s. And
Eddie Munster, what's it guy's name?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what went across. He had the dancers come out, and they were doing some kind of a shag or a pony or whatever it was. Very reminiscent. I think he got the reaction because, I mean, yeah, he's really big and popular on the indie scene. They know his gimmick and they know his gimmick well, but now he's being introduced to a mainstream who probably didn't even watch AEW. And, not that he was on AEW very much. And, they have no idea who the fuck he is. And they were probably like convinced that was going to be Jericho. Never mind that Jericho would not do this. And when it wasn't Jericho, and it was like, hey, who's this guy in the white makeup? They're like,
to be honest, who's scrawny? Like he's not like a big character. Like he's a scrawny little guy. Like you're like, what the hell? Like, why am I so hyped up for this little guy?
Right. It's like everybody can relax. He's maybe only going to wrestle in a match 5 times a year, and that's including any appearances on Main Event, on a WWE Main Event live on YouTube, and other than that, he'll just be a jokey guy, and he's going to move He's going to move a shit ton of merch. He's the new Hurricane.
Ooh.
Hurricane was changed.
I mean, they're piling up with the comedy wrestlers now. They got Kit Wilson just started on a comedy bent. You know, Miz has been around forever. Truth has been around even longer than that. You know, and now here's another guy. And it should be worth noting, and one of the reasons I'm sure he was, one of the two reasons I'm sure he was signed, one of the reasons being he's Punk's good friend.
Yep.
And the other reason being he was off TV for most of 2 years when he was with AEW, and he was still like literally a top 5 merch seller.
Yeah.
So now imagine the loads of stuff he can move with the weight of the WWE marketing department behind him. Like before, they weren't even trying. Now imagine the dollar signs he's going to help him put up.
Yeah, there's a guy who understands merchandising. Like a guy who
he already tweeted that the guy that designed all his merch, that this was the first one they're doing with WWE, like new logo, no everything. So still like working with his dude for WWE. That shirt's gonna be
new trademarked material.
Yeah.
So maybe I mean, imagine if Tony had even given him like a half of a push of any kind, you know, and he didn't give him anything at all, and he still, you know, moved the amount of merchandise that he moved. Now let's see what's going to happen. Plus, any videos that he makes that are, you know, much more certain to go viral. Where he catches him, yeah. I mean, you know, I don't see this as anything but a positive.
And I don't know if you caught us earlier when I was like, he already retweeted Adam Pearce saying when he's like, last time today, he's like, love didn't have your curse. And he's like, who's the GM of Raw? Is it still Stone Cold? He's like, when do I get Rock's gym? Like, he's already playing fucking into it. It's already great.
Absolutely. This is a great signing. Don't expect anything in the ring. You know, maybe they'll throw him a token transitional tag team title somewhere. But you know, he's right where he needs to be. I'm glad he's getting the opportunity, and you know, best of luck to him.
Yeah. Best of Luckhausen.
Luckhausen.
Stephen Hazen.
Last shot, Stephen Hazen.
Last shot. Well, I mean, what did I want to say? There's just so much to choose from. But you know, we're all set between now and Mania. I like seeing these things. I got it now. I like seeing these things. It was touched upon earlier about Punk's entrance last night, and I think that's the thing. And Ed brought it up. You know, when they know you've got one, you know, you're somebody who's popular and who's put in a lot of service, and you've got 1 foot out the door, even maybe half of a foot out the door. You know, we saw it with Cena all last year. We saw it with AJ to a shorter degree. Possibly AJ didn't want that much of a fuss. I mean, you know, I guess we'll find out on Unreal, however much you want to take that for. You know, then it's time to ask these people who they know are in their last contract, what do you want to do that you haven't done yet? I think part of it, I think still has a couple years left on his in-ring contract before he transitions, which I think for certain, though, you know, of course, in 2 years, anybody can change their mind, into taking over at NXT for Shawn. Yeah. It's time to start thinking of the career bucket list. I think Becky recently say she signed her last contract? Now she's got a little bit longer. But still, what is it you would like to do? You've been a good worker. You've made a lot of money for us. You've been at the top of the, you know, what do you still want to do before your in-ring career is over? that we can provide for you. And this was one of those things. I think you're going to start seeing it over the next few months with Roman, because Roman, again, if I recall correctly, his contract is done at the end of the year, and he's already said he wants to move into acting fuller time, as his health allows, that's the most important. You're going to start seeing it with, if the rumors are true, you're going to start seeing it with Brock over the next few months. Whenever Jericho is finally allowed to show up, you're going to start seeing it with him, and so on and so forth down the line. And the amount of fun that these guys seem to have been having with such requests, and then it rubs off on the fans. I think that's only a positive, and hopefully they continue to grant these things as long as they're not like completely unreasonable. I'd like to see more of it.
Not fair, yeah. Like your last, I need to say your last requests. You know, like what are your last requests?
What are your last requests? Who do you still want to wrestle that you haven't wrestled yet? What kind of a program do you want to do? What kind of an entrance do you want to make, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's a good point. Yeah, just like getting the input from the talent.
Yeah.
Let them go out on their own.
If nobody, and if say Roman doesn't have anything he wants to do, he just wants to go, that's fine too.
Girl, bye.
Oh, we'll be seeing him on the big screen soon enough, so we won't
Acknowledge me.
Jesus, Mary Jokes.
He's coming over the top.
All right. Yeah, I know he's in Street Fighter. We'll see him in Street Fighter.
Right,
Anything else? I don't think you care.
Yeah.
Yep, he'll be in plenty of direct to prime action movies. I'm sure.
Fair enough. Steven, pleasure as always.
Love.
Pleasure, folks.
Till next time.
Nighty night, one and all. The manatees are never wrong. Always remember.
Then.
It's been a nice night, Nikki. We've had a bunch of great regular.
We had so many new friends, all the old friends, all the things.
You might argue it's been a banger.
After banger. After banger.
It's been a banger after banger. Nikki, let's let our not so CCO take us out. Triple H, or get out of here. It's been a fun one recapping WWE Elimination Chamber 2026.
Chombre.
Thought we had a spectacular event tonight. Very excited that so far everybody seems to have come out unscathed. Banged up, bumps and bruises, but nobody seriously injured, which I always hold my breath on these events. You want to see people have the best outing that they can possibly have and make memories, but do it safely. And we were able to do that tonight.
Able to do that again tonight, Nikki.
Yes, baby.
Another night with that incident. We are back here this Friday at 6 Eastern, recapping WWE, AEW. We'll maybe throw in some TNA stuff this week. So we'll see, depending on what the week leads to us. But until then, you do not have to go home.
But you can't stay here. Bye, my baby.